Yeah, that's crazy. What's going on with everybody in the chat? They got this new rule that's being talked about with Turkey Al Sheet. Um, and I'm trying not to go in too much, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I put this picture up here for a reason. So, just to the average fan out there, they're saying it's a lot of moving and running and boxing. Like I said, man, to be honest with you, these dudes don't be watching the fights, bro. Like all the other fights that come on, they don't really watch the fights. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like even the big fights that come on, they don't watch the big fights that come on. Um, a lot of these people don't watch boxing right now. They watch the highlights and they jump in the chat and they talk trash. But if it's night or a knockout or something, a lot of these dudes ain't watching fights. I ain't even being funny. Ain't no jokes being told. The average boxing fan who actually talks about boxing does not sit down and actually watch the fight. I mean, everybody else can talk about anything else when it comes to the running rule and everything else. But I'm telling you right now, boxing is is in the worst position it's ever been when we have people catering to fans even watch the fight. They just watch highlights. Sport ain't going nowhere like that. I don't care what nobody say. You catering to kids who think Muhammad Ali's a runner and the what sport about how the sport of boxing gonna move like that? If the average casual fan that you're catering to right now thinks that Muhammad Ali is a runner and you're catering to that, you're not trying to fix that, you're not putting no money into that to let it be known that that's a narrative. And if you're gonna let that go out there, anybody who talks about boxing, I don't care who it is, anybody, a fan, media member, whoever, a trainer who lets that narrative go like that, zero respect. I don't respect it, and I'm not gonna forget. So right now, starting tomorrow, well today, starting today, boxing has gotten worse since it was yesterday. They got more energy for people's performance than they do for performance enhancers. The stuff don't care about that. Cause I'm gonna get into that right now. Now on Turkey's last three cards, we've had guys pop for PEDs and guys get sick and had to pull out of fights. That has hurt the cards tremendously. It hasn't really made a difference between what's going on in America and what's going on anywhere else. Guys are still popping and everything else. So at the end of the day, for the running rule to be talked about right now, it's a complete waste of time in my eyes. So what, man? You catering to the fans right now. To be honest with you, it looked kind of sad because you listen to people just because they got subscribers. That makes it even worse to me. Turkey running around listening to people because they got subscribers. Out of all the people that cater, that did something for the sport of boxing, you saying something that a dude who got subscribers that talks about boxing, you agreeing with not people that been in the sport of boxing. This man ain't talked to Sugar Ray or pull up a picture of Turkey got with fighters in there. You got all these with Sugar Ray and all these other guys. You can't ask these people about what they think about. We gotta agree with YouTubers now. Hold on now. You got a picture with all these legends in the picture. Nah, let me agree with a YouTuber. Nah, bro. I ain't let nobody slide like that. That's embarrassing. We got boxers in the sport of boxing Turkey could be talking to as far as about the running rule and everything else. How can we improve the performance or whatever? And this man agreeing with somebody because they got subscribers? Come on. I don't respect that, homie. I don't care who you are. So you got all these boxers in this picture. All these legends. Turkey could turn around right now and be like, hey, what y'all think about how we could fix, how guys are performing right now? Nah, let me agree with a YouTuber, man, that I can ask, but let me go ahead and just agree with a YouTuber so I can win the fans over. I don't know what it's about, allegedly. But that's not a good look. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's definitely not a good look. Sad, bro. It's pathetic, to be honest with you. Real pathetic. If it was my brother, I'd say the same thing about him. I'd be like, bro, that's pathetic, bro. You could have asked Larry Holmes, bro. Larry Holmes is a Hall of Famer. We ain't finna be agreeing with no YouTubers. We can ask Larry Holmes. Got him on speed dial. Matter of fact, he out here right now. Let's ask Holyfield. Let's ask Sugar Ray. Nah. That's sad right there, to be honest with you. That just shows you the state of boxing right now. That just shows you the state of boxing. First thing a boxer will say is, man, you ain't never boxed before. Yeah, but shoot, Turkey don't care about that. he had people that he had some people for in high school or nothing. Dudes don't even know what it feel like to at all. So according to what everybody's saying, this is running right here. Where is it at? When I be able to pull it up, I don't know how to work this thing like that. Yeah, but this is running to everybody. So, but I'm gonna say this right now though. I ain't really getting into what I wanted to talk about, but this is the same thing. So, Turkey has had a lot of fights recently, right? On Riyadh season. Y'all know he was supposed to say this a long time ago. He was supposed to say this a long time ago. Do y'all know in the first when Joshua fought Andrew Ruiz, that was in Saudi Arabia? That was in Riyadh, wasn't it? Anthony Joshua fought Andrew Ruiz the second time. Cause I'm gonna go through the facts real quick. What was the location when Joshua fought Andrew Ruiz second time? It was in Saudi Arabia. Okay. So he fought Andrew Ruiz in Saudi Arabia in 2019. That fight, he was on the back foot. He was running in that fight. Okay? For anybody that wants to know about. If they're talking same kind of movement that everybody's doing right now, Anthony Joshua was running in that fight. Okay? That's one thing. If you don't believe me, look at the fight. He was running in that fight. That's one thing. The second thing is, I just looked up Deontay Wilder when he fought Joseph Parker. That was the most boring fight Wilder's had, right? Right? I think Wilder threw 200 punches in that fight. And people say, oh, he didn't let his hands go, something wrong with him. Ryan Garcia just went out and threw the same amount of punches. Now, mind you, if Ryan Garcia just went out there and threw the same amount of punches that Deontay Wilder threw against Joseph Parker, are y'all finna tell me that Ryan Garcia was letting his hands go and that he wasn't running? because I'm finna expose this. Anybody can. It's not gonna take me long too. Ryan Garcia just threw 200 punches in a fight, 12-round fight. Okay. We have heavyweights throwing more punches than that. Wilder threw 200 punches against Joseph Parker, and everybody said he needs to retire. So that just shows how bad Ryan Garcia's performance was, and he's not a heavyweight. So when I got on here that same week and said, "Hey man, Ryan was running," nobody online has said that Ryan Garcia was running against Rolly Romero. The man was running against Rolly Romero, and nobody even wants to bring that up. They don't even want to talk about the fight and break down the fight. People say, "Let's talk about boxing." Talk about boxing. Oh my God, the fight was what, a month and a half ago? The man threw a fight against Rolly Romero, same amount of punches that Deontay Wilder threw against Joseph Parker, and only one guy was told to retire. The dude was running the whole fight, ain't do nothing in the fight, ran the whole fight. What's the difference between Wilder and Ryan Garcia? Oh, okay, I know. These dudes full of it, man. Just be real. So if the rule does get enforced, and the next time Ryan Garcia fights, we're gonna be talking about him. And we already went through Java. He did that 2019 against Ruiz. Then we got Ryan Garcia just threw the same amount of punches that Wilder did against Joseph Parker. Threw 200 punches. And nobody cares because he's not as big as everybody said he was. And they're proving it because they don't want to talk about it. So now we also have Tyson Fury. Let me tell you, I just exposed Tyson Fury the worst with this news right here I'm about to tell you. The man threw almost 500 punches against Usyk in Saudi. Now, the year before that, the man only threw 200 punches against Francis Ngannou, and he won the fight. Now, Wilder throws 200 punches, loses. Ryan Garcia throws 200 punches, loses. Tyson Fury throws 200, gets dropped, wins. The man threw 200 punches against Francis Ngannou, goes out there and fights Usyk twice. Usyk, they say Usyk the best fighter of this generation, everything. He done beat all the heavyweights. He threw 500 punches, 400 some punches, almost 500. He only got 200 punches off of Ngannou. The same amount of punches that Wilder did against Joseph Parker. So when I say Tyson Fury was running, everybody look at me like, "Oh man, this man really hates Fury." Bro, CompuBox says that he was running 200 punches, but against Usyk, a technician, you throw 500 punches? I don't understand that. And people say you got beat worse against Usyk. So you let your hands fly against Usyk, but against Ngannou you don't, and you're not considered a runner? Are these people not watching the fights or not? They're not watching the fights. Boxing is in a sad state right now. Sad state. All these dudes running. That stuff they talking about Haney doing, they talking, "Oh, well, Haney's running." These dudes been running. And they've been congratulating and patting it on the back. I just showed you Tiafimo was getting walked down by Steve Claggett last year. Everybody look past that. All these dudes be running. So if Turkey's talking about anybody, he's talking about those guys. Those guys. And they're losing. Complaining. Excuses. Retirement. Injuries. All of them. Every dude from Ryan Garcia to Tyson excuses. John excuses. All of them running since Riyadh season started. Just did a live about that a couple of weeks ago. These dudes been looking bad since they went over there with Turkey out of sheet. They want to blame it on running. They better hope it ain't the juice. They better hope it ain't no juice. I hope everybody clean. I hope everybody been fighting clean their whole career. They want to blame it on running. I hope it ain't no PEDs. If it is, they gonna have to blame a little more than running. And your opponent ain't running, I'm gonna expose you. So y'all trying to use Turkey Al-Sheikh and a running rule to say these boxers, I'm gonna expose these boys. Cause 200 punches against Ngannou, and then you got 400 or 500 punches against Usyk, 2 fights in a row. That's not a coincidence, homie. That dude was shook against Ngannou. Shook. Scared for his life. Scared for his life. And he got saved again. As long as you fighting Tyson Fury, knockdowns don't matter. If you Ryan Garcia, you fighting Haney, oh yeah, knockdowns matter. If you fighting Tyson Fury, oh, knockdowns ain't gonna matter. But Usyk, he can go out there and 100 punches against Usyk and lost twice. I told y'all he was running against Ngannou. 200 punches against Francis Ngannou, the same 200 punches Deontay Wilder threw against Joseph Parker, and that gets you a W. And you got dropped. Then you got Ryan Garcia just threw 200 punches. Then you got Turkey Al-Sheikh. Come on, Ryan. Did y'all see Turkey Al-Sheikh was screaming for Ryan to throw his hands, right? I told y'all Ryan was running. I've been saying it for weeks, and I'm gonna say it forever because he ran. He landed 2 punches. He landed 2 punches. He landed 2 punches and 5 punches the last 2 rounds. Either Ryan he was scared or he's super trash. On Rolly Romero, still landed a total in the 11th round, and he landed 4 punches in the 12th round. Matter of fact, I go down to all the rounds. Ryan Garcia landed 5 punches in the first round, 8 punches in the second round. Then when he got dropped, 3 punches in the third round. Dude was shook. 5 punches in the 4th round, 7 punches in the 5th round, 5 punches in the 6th round, 9 in the 7th, 9 in the 8th. 7th in the 8th, my bad. 6 in the 9th, 5 in the 10th. Then he got very scared. 2 punches in the 11th round, 4 punches in the 12th round. Yeah, it got stepped on. And Rolly threw 7 punches. Rolly landed 7. And Ryan only threw 13 punches in the 11th round. Rolly threw 29. Ryan only threw 9 in the 12th round. Rolly threw 33. Dude was shook out his pants, man. Got dominated. So all that running rule stuff they talking about, they just need something to talk about because all these fighters getting exposed. This ain't the channel for it to push propaganda and narratives. It ain't gonna last. Y'all ain't been selling tickets like that. It ain't gonna last like that. They've been selling propaganda and all that for a long time. Oh, the running rule. What they got to do with Ryan Garcia? He just lost. What they got to do with Tyson Fury? Just lost his last fight. What they got to do with Anthony Joshua? Just lost his last fight. They don't want to address these things. What they got to do with PEDs? Why everybody don't care about PEDs more than they do running rules? They know what time it is. All that fake talking boxing is getting old, man. To be honest with you, everybody be kicking. Oh, it's my opinion. It's my opinion. Okay, your opinion is trash. You call Ali a runner? You trying to teach the next generation to call people like Muhammad Ali a runner because these dudes is out of shape, don't want to work out, they want to drink and get high all the time. Okay, everybody who drink and get high can't be a boxer. They made it. You know, everybody ain't sitting around depressed because they ain't make it as a professional. Don't get it twisted. But you got dudes who out here want to party still. And I want to be a professional and party, bro. It ain't gonna work like that. Floyd didn't do that, so why you gonna try to do it? Because you can't do that, we gotta change rules for you because you wanna drink all throughout your whole career and you can't chase nobody around the ring. Ain't nobody had no trouble cutting off the ring until these dudes came around. If you can't cut off a ring, you're a bum. That's your job. Your job as a boxer to cut off the ring. If you can't cut off the ring, you're a bum. You're gonna have to accept that. Everybody else cut off the ring. We had dudes bigger than these guys chasing down Ali cutting off the ring. Foreman was able to cut off the ring. And y'all can't cut off the ring? Nah. These dudes ain't good enough boxers, man. It is what it is. You're a regular boxer and an elite boxer. You gotta accept that. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're gonna make up that running rule stuff, you're gonna have to sit up here and call Muhammad Ali a runner. What's going on, Eric Gomes? Yeah, Bond Squad all day. What's going on? They gonna have to call Muhammad Ali a runner. I heard Dan Raphael talking about this. What Turkey Al-Sheikh said. This. Man, these dudes be running like I don't know what. All these fighters. I done seen all of them run. Over here, you gotta man up. Tell the truth about boxing over here. Sorry to say it. It's too much propaganda being told. Everybody else want to turn boxing into Def Comedy Jam. Like, bro, when something funny happen, we gonna laugh. But everybody looking for a time to crack a joke in boxing. Like, bro, we got people testing positive for PEDs, and everybody talking about weight and running. Man, ain't nobody trying to hear that, man. All this pump faking in boxing, all this Jokic in the mid range. Ain't nobody trying to hear all that. These dudes is pump faking. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're more worried about running in boxing than people taking PEDs, you're not a real boxing fan. You said Turkey making runners fight now or no money. You must have just came in. You didn't hear what I said when I came here. Let me go ahead and go back to what I was saying earlier. Then you just coming in. You just came in, Eric. Going back to what I was saying. Turkey ain't finna make nobody do nothing. Turkey ain't made nobody do nothing yet, and he ain't gonna make nobody do nothing. If he did, already. And Tank Davis as well. He ain't finna make nobody nothing. He ain't finna make nobody do nothing. You said Showbiz against runners petition took off. Yeah, but Showbiz is capping though, because if he believes in that, his favorite fighters are runners. Just told y'all. Ryan Garcia just threw 200 punches his last fight. Those are the same amount of punches that Deontay Wilder threw against Joseph Parker, the most boring fight that in Wilder's career. And people think, 200 punches? Ryan Garcia just threw 200 punches against Roland Romero. Tyson Fury just threw almost 500 punches against Usyk. Do you understand that? It's heavyweights that's throwing more punches than 200. A lot of these guys been running. I can sit up here and name fights right now where guys have been running. We ain't talking about, I see people talking about Haney, but let's talk about other fighters though. I just named a fight in Anthony Joshua against he's the second time he was running. Running. And then I just seen Kambosos fighting Teofimo today. He was running. But guess what? He was beating up Teofimo. And he was running. I ain't hear nobody say Kambosos was running against Teofimo. And he beat the dog crap out of Teofimo. His face was swell up. Kambosos beat the dog crap out of Teofimo Lopez. Was he walking Teofimo Lopez down? Absolutely not. These people don't know boxing. Their favorite fighters is getting beat up right now. They look bad. They're getting exposed, and they need something to talk about. Is anybody talking about how bad these boxers look? The first thing they talked about after all these guys looked bad was Ryan Garcia lost. First thing they brought up was running rule. Ryan Garcia was the one running. Did anybody see Ryan walking down? Did Ryan Garcia? If Ryan Garcia walked down Rolly, I'll never talk about boxing again. I swear, right now. I swear to God, I won't talk about boxing no more. If Ryan Garcia was walking down Rolly and not running, I won't talk about boxing ever again. And I'm only saying this because as time goes on, if can't nobody prove that, he gonna get exposed, bro. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. I'm gonna let everybody know that right now. Matter of fact, the comfort box is right here. Let me go ahead and expose this boy real quick. Go ahead and expose him real quick. This everybody's favorite boxer, right? Okay. Okay, because I'm going to put Deontay Wilder's up there next. We comparing Deontay Wilder and Ryan Garcia. That's how pathetic Ryan Garcia's last fight was. I got to compare Deontay Wilder's worst fight with Ryan Garcia's last fight. That's how bad Ryan Garcia was. Let me move this out the way. Oh, no. I don't want to do that. Let me just, yeah. Okay. So let me blow this up in case anybody needs to see this. So if you want to look at the screen right now, because I've been having to use ComfyBox all 2025. Haven't seen people doing this before until this year, but I had to pull this out because people just be yapping and everybody's opinion and everything else. So look at the last 2 rounds. I'm not even gonna go through the whole fight. I'm gonna just show y'all how Ryan Garcia quit. The man quit against Tank and he quit against Rolly. And nobody wants to actually go out here. All these millions of subscribers he got, millions of followers Ryan Garcia got. We got millions of followers, and I can't find 10 people that follows Ryan Garcia that'll admit that he quit against Rolly Romero. That's sad. So in the 11th round, Garcia only landed 2 punches. So he was really letting his hands go, wasn't he? How much money did Ryan Garcia make? $20 million? $20 million. He only threw 2 punches in the 11th round. Are y'all serious? Are people really serious? They talking about running rules right now in boxing and people not making too much money. He threw 2 punches. He landed 2 punches in the 11th round, and he got paid $20 million. And they're talking about running rule today? Rolly Romero landed and threw 29. Landed 2 punches and threw 13 with the fight on the line. What's going on, Aaron? With the fight on the line. Then Garcia landed 4 punches and threw 9 in the 12th round. And Rolly landed 9 and threw 33. Not only did Ryan Garcia run, he quit. Again. He quit again. How about a no quit rule? How about a let your hands go rule? How about I ain't got nothing but the left hook rule? How about a don't get walked down rule? Yeah, I think those would actually fix boxing. You actually got to let your hands go to have movement is the problem. Guess what? Haney moved more than Ryan Garcia did, right? But look, I bet he ain't land 2 punches in the 11th round. and 4 punches in the 12th round and get paid $20 million. Man, please. Y'all just paid somebody $20 million who never been a champion. And we talking about running rules right now. Let me pull up Deontay Wilder's CompuBox, and I bet it's gonna look like Ryan Garcia's. Pathetic. And this is the Joseph Parker fight I'm finna pull up. These dudes be talking about nothing in boxing, man. For real. It's an embarrassment. This generation is disgusting. They would have talked trash about Muhammad Ali. These dudes were raised now ain't got no respect for nobody. Just real talk. They mamas ain't give these dudes no respect for nobody. Trust me, I see it every day. I gotta deal with these people out here. They ain't got no respect for nobody. Everybody a troll now. When no facts come out, everybody quiet. Everybody be trolling, but when no facts come out, everybody get quiet. And I'm gonna go back to Tyson Fury too, because I got a little theory about him that's even worse. So Deontay Wilder landed 39 punches, threw 200 punches against Joseph Parker. This is called his worst fight. People say he need to retire after this fight. They say he needs to give it up, retire. Deontay Wilder landed more punches the last 2 rounds than Ryan Garcia against Joseph Parker. And the man said his arm was broke. And people said we don't believe him. Ryan Garcia comes out with his arm wrapped up recently. And everybody on their knees. This man threw more punches against Joseph Parker, his worst fight of his career, his worst performance. A tune-up against Anthony Joshua's best win. Deontay Wilder had a tune-up against Anthony Joshua's best win. And he landed more punches the last 2 rounds than Ryan Garcia did against Rolly. And these dudes talking about running rules right now in boxing. And just gave Ryan Garcia $20 million. Do y'all know how many fights actually have happened in Riyadh or in Saudi Arabia where guys have actually ran or looked trash? Before a Devin Haney or a Wilder even got in the ring? Do y'all know that Anthony Joshua and Fury have 2 fights where they ran? Oh, okay. In Saudi Arabia. Do y'all know that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fought before everybody else did in Saudi Arabia? And nobody talks about those 2 fights they had in Saudi Arabia? And people are talking about running rules right now? We have outside forces that live inside this country that are trying to destroy the sport of boxing and the history of boxing, and are succeeding because we got a lot of Benedict Arnolds. That's why I don't trust nobody that's throwing around no flags. Because at the end of the day, everybody around here, bro, I'm telling you, it's deeper than what y'all think. These dudes is calling people that fight like Muhammad Ali runners and bums. Ali, you're a bum. Like I just said, I'm going to repeat one more time because this is going to be the last time I say this. Ryan Garcia just threw 200 punches against Rolly. Wilder threw 200 punches against Joseph Parker. Everybody told him to retire. He's trash. Even though he just went through 3 wars with Tyson Fury, who weighs almost twice as much as he does. 2 wars with him. Oh, we don't care about what you did for the sport of boxing. All the excitement you gave and brought back the heavyweight division. You threw 200 punches like Ryan just did. And everybody looked the other way. Y'all sound like he was running. Ryan ain't no heavyweight. He wasn't fighting nobody 100 pounds heavier than him. Why is he throwing only 2 punches in the 11th round? I mean, landing only 2 punches in the 11th round. 2 punches? Then you land what, 4 in the 12th? Now look at the 11th round and 12th round for Wilder at the top. You got 4 and 5. I'm gonna pull up Ryan Garcia last fight with Rolly. I want y'all to look at that 11th and 12th round for me. 2 punches in the 11th round, 4 punches in the 12th round. What's up, Poncho? What's going on? So Wilder landed more punches the last 2 rounds against Joseph Parker, and both of them were injured. Wilder said he was injured, and guess what? Wilder went and fought Zane, still injured. Ryan comes out, oh man, I was hurt. Everybody like, oh yeah, he was hurt, man. I believe him. Yeah, nah, you believe what you want to believe. That's what it is. Keep believing what you want to believe. So we talking about running rule today, right? Okay. Let me pull up your boy Tyson Fury real. Oh, you're gonna definitely want to see this. You have never seen this before. When I say you're gonna want to see this, you're gonna want to see this. Yeah, man. So we had Anthony Joshua fight Andrew Ruiz in Riyadh. I mean, not in Riyadh. It was in Saudi Arabia, somewhere I can't pronounce with a D. We had him fight Andrew Ruiz out there. Fight with 12 rounds. And I'm complained about a fighter not being aggressive and walking somebody down. And I'm being honest, man. I never criticized nobody for walking somebody down as much as I did when Joshua fought Andrew Ruiz. So I'm like, okay, they're gonna have a trilogy. Nah, they ain't gonna have no trilogy. How they don't have a trilogy? He got stopped the first fight, so but let me go ahead and find this other thing real quick. Tyson Fury. But yeah, he didn't walk down Andrew Ruiz. He was on the back foot. Let me pull this up real quick because I have 2 of them. Oh man, I apologize. Tyson Fury threw 500 punches in the second fight. Whoa. Tyson Fury threw 500 punches. That makes this even worse. Tyson Fury threw 5 punches against Usyk in the second fight. This is going to be so bad. Do y'all look at that number down here at the bottom? All the way at the bottom, under final punch stat. Tyson Fury threw 500 punches in this fight against Usyk. 500. And he was on the back foot heavy the second fight. Now look at that Ngannou fight. Look how many punches he threw in that Ngannou fight at the bottom. What's the total for this Ngannou fight? At the bottom, Tyson Fury threw a total of 223 punches against Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou threw 231 punches. Francis Ngannou was criticized for not letting his hands go in this fight. Tyson Fury won the fight by throwing 223 punches. So he only threw 10 more punches than what Ryan and only 20 more punches than what Walker. The man, and people will say, okay, well, Ngannou threw 231. I understand that. But he just threw 500 punches against Usyk. You going against a technician like Usyk, who Joshua was struggling against, and you're able to throw 500 punches, throw 200 punches, and people to say he wasn't in shape or whatever. He didn't let his hands go. He didn't try. He didn't throw half of what he usually throws. That was running in that fight. After I seen that fight, I literally said, "Hey man, this is running." Tyson Fury doesn't fight like that. He can walk towards a Deontay Wilder, but not an Ngannou. Nah, that doesn't make any sense. Ngannou's not even a boxer. And then we seen him. What's going on, Abdul? What's up? So that's all these fights were in Saudi. And these were fights where you consider people running. All these fights these dudes was running. This don't have nothing to do with Devin Haney. This don't got nothing to do with really no American fighters. And I'm gonna be honest with you too. Boxing fans are unappreciative. They don't really say thank you like that because and they Lomachenko versus Haney, but they'll call Haney a runner. That's not really celebrating a fighter who's bringing the best fights to boxing, especially after what we just seen this weekend with Keyshawn Davis not even getting in the ring. He didn't even make it to the ring. And we're still calling guys runners? Wow, we on that still? It's crazy. That's unbelievable. And they're actually talking about running and boxing. And if you look at all these fights, all these guys be running. 200 punches, but the next fight you throw 500 punches. That don't make no sense. So everybody else can do it, but Haney can't do it. Haney did the same exact thing Tyson Fury did. Change the strategy up. That's all it was. And to be honest with you, Rolly wasn't as aggressive as Haney was. Yeah, shout out my dog Punch on everybody in the chat. Haney was a lot more aggressive than Rolly was. Does he get credit for that? I haven't heard none of these people online that's talking about boxing say that Haney was more aggressive than Rolly. Matter of fact, let me go see the copy box for that real quick. He was way more aggressive than what Rolly was. Rolly got that one knock. And then, let me see. Yeah, that's crazy. And then this fight, what? And then Ryan against Haney. This man threw 19 punches in the 10th round. Bro. Ryan Garcia threw 19 punches. Copy box real quick. Where is it at? This man threw 19 punches in the 10th round against Devin Haney. And he only threw 5 against Rolly. If these people don't stop it out here, man. And they talking about running. That man had a machine in front of him. So this dude out here fighting Terminators and people talking about why is he worried about what the guy's going to do? I'm going to be honest with you. People who ask that question, they weird to me. I don't care who it is. Like, if you got to ask that question at this point, you weird. A guy who got cheated the last fight, you asking why he's nervous about, or why he's standoffish, or why he changed up his strategy, or any question you got about somebody who got cheated. That's crazy. Somebody got cheated and we asking questions about why they acting different. Hey man, somebody just stole $1 million from you. Why you acting different? That's the thing about the running rule that kind of makes me kind of like, what? Then it's the favorite fighters. So we have I can pull up every face of boxing that people consider a face of boxing. They've all ran in the ring and moved around, whether people have admitted it or not. But all these guys move. They all on the back foot in certain fights. Joshua was just on the back foot against Dubois. Um, they've all done it. I can pull up all these guys' stats and videos. I only want to pull up the videos because it'll just be a waste. I've already done it millions of times and showed these guys sitting on the ropes. Just last year, guys were sitting on the ropes. And we talking about they'll beat Terrence Crawford and stuff like that. Just last year. Sitting on the ropes, getting walked down. So the running rule stuff, it's something that people want to bring up because it's only American fighters. It's only certain fighters that look a certain way that's going to get that kind of attention. If you don't care about PEDs, you care about running more than you do PEDs in boxing. I mean, I don't even want to win that argument. I'm just, at this point, it's like a funeral. I'm grieving at this point. These ain't boxing fans. These Grim Reapers. They coming to collect the sport of boxing. Nah, this ain't it right here. And then Turkey, I don't know, he just kind of lost his he lost his luster a little bit, to be honest with you. Nah, he supposed to be like Lex Luger. He acting like Billy Madison. Billy Madison wanted to go back to school with the kids, you know what I'm saying, hang out and do it all over again. You know, he was rich. And, you know, Lex Luger, he was a boss, like making it happen. I don't care about none of these dudes. I ain't no dudes was Billy Madison, though. That's what we doing. You got all these boxers you can go to and ask them for their advice. And we co-signing YouTubers? It's crazy, bro. That's crazy. All these boxers on this photo. Turkey Al-Sheikh could have said, hey, let me ask one of these legends. What should I do as far as performance to get these guys going? You know what I'm saying? They've been boxing for 50, 60, 70 years. Ask these guys what's going on. Turn around and ask Evander Holyfield or Lennox Lewis or Larry Holmes. Matter of fact, we got Sugar Ray and Cotto back there. Let me ask one of them. Nah, I'm going to go to a YouTuber who never boxed. And me and him going to agree on a no running rule. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's kind of weak. Because if you talking about somebody who's running, call them out by name. Like Mike Tyson say, name the names. Call them out. Call them out. And that's a real quote, Mike Tyson. I know everybody said that other quote. That's actually Joe Louis, but people keep saying it over and over to the point where they're like, yeah, he made it. It's like people saying Christian Bale, he the first Batman. You said no more running, good news. Thank you, Turkey. Rocky Austin, I just got one question, Rocky Austin. I just got one question. Matter of fact, I ain't even gotta ask this dude no question. This is Can't Face It Boxing. I'm about to pull somebody up that was running and that beat one of y'all favorite fighters. And y'all ain't gonna say nothing about it. That's how I shut up a troll. Oh no, I got something for that. I'm gonna shut up a troll right now. I'm gonna pull up somebody that was running. Instead of me pulling up a fighter, I could do something better where I can pull up a big name fighter that runs. But I'm gonna pull up a fighter who beat one of y'all favorite fighters running. And you ain't gonna say nothing about it. Watch. That's how I like to troll. And I'm gonna keep talking, so I ain't even gotta respond to no troll. That's how we do it where I'm from. And I bet Rocky Austin ain't gonna hang around. He gonna split like his mama jeans. I'm gonna show y'all somebody that was running and still got the job done. Yeah. So this is a guy who was running, and guess what? Kambosos. Hey, did Kambosos win this fight, or am I tripping? Did Kambosos win? I'm tripping. Did Kambosos win? Did Kambosos win this fight? Yeah, y'all. A lot of people was talking just now. Rocky, where you go, dog? Exactly. That's how I teach these kids. I'm put these kids on timeout when they come over here trying to troll. Yeah, and Kambosos won this fight running too. Kambosos won this fight running. And guess how many views this fight got on DAZN boxing? 11 million. So y'all watch Kambosos run from Teofimo Lopez. 11 million of y'all. Watch Kambosos run from Teofimo Lopez. You say he didn't run. You say he didn't run. Your knees and get that thing out your mouth. How about that? How about that? Have some respect for your mama. She ain't raised you to be like that. Anybody who don't like what I'm saying, hey, maybe I'm talking about you. Everybody talking about that running rule. I ain't trying to hear that, bro. It's 2025. All that stuff y'all was saying last year, all that gone. Dudes is running and still no pillow fist and everything. Stop by camp. All that. Look at that. Cause you know everybody just looking for the power punches, so they ain't seeing that. You said that's not running? Okay, well shit. You proving my point. You the one came in talking about some no. Hey, look at this. I just made this boy bend the knee in front of all y'all. Look how fast I just made this boy bend the knee. Look at this. Y'all see this? He just said this at 12:29. Rocky Austin just said this, right? And then look, at 12:33, that's what he said. Yeah, exactly. So so you telling me did Teofimo get walked down, Rocky? So Rocky is telling me that Teofimo got walked down in this fight. So Rocky, did Teofimo get walked down? You came here talking, so what's up? Did Teofimo get walked down? Yeah, he ain't talking no more. That's how you do it. Boy, ain't nobody trying to hear you. You get these little girls' attention, they want it. You see how these dudes get the attention they want, then they run? Look at that. You said these slick fighters. Who the slick fighters are? Shadow Guy, put a name on it. Somebody said Skull, Haney, and Shakur are why this was made. But y'all still watch them, though, Texas made. So I feel like that's just dick eating. Every grown man that's complaining about this, we got hundreds of boxers who's talented, who got talent. Lamont Roach, none of y'all was watching Lamont Roach. But guess what? So if you're a boxing fan and you wasn't watching Lamont Roach until Tank fought him, but you sitting around checking for William Skull, Haney, and Shakur, that's your fault. That's your fault. Why are boxing fans crying because they choose to watch that? There's a whole bunch of fighters you don't watch. Y'all saw Teofimo get whooped by Kambosos like this. I don't hear y'all complaining about that though. Look at that. Nose leaking like hell. Hell y'all talking about. Nigga shit leaking. And y'all talking about somebody running. Man, please. Get out of here. Give me a man, y'all don't get out here with that running shit. Look at that. Nose leaking like hell. Y'all want somebody getting their ass kicked like this and getting credit for it? And he got credit for this shit. And got credit for getting his ass kicked like this. What round was that? And Kambosos was on the back foot whooping his ass like this. We talking about running. Man, please. Tell him to rematch Kambosos. How about that? Oh, no, that's Hitchens doing. Hitchens fighting Kambosos this weekend. Oh, yeah. Everybody else got to do their dirty work. That's what it is. You know, Haney the only boxer that tried to get his rematch back, and the dude did everything he could not to. Then everybody talking about something. I see why Haney took him to court. No, you don't. Nah, you confused, homie. You all like a bar of soap. You all over the place. You all over the place. Look, so y'all want a Haney to be whooped like this by Kambosos sitting on the stool? Teofimo dad not able to give him answers? Why everybody ain't telling Teofimo to get away from his dad? His daddy got him whooped like this against George Kambosos. And ain't nobody out here worried about Teofimo's career and getting him to a better trainer. Ain't nobody better than his daddy. Yeah, he got whooped by a runner like this. Somebody who was running beat him up to play this massacre. And that was only after 7 rounds he was looking like that. Look at that. Somebody run him did him like that. Somebody run and did him like that. Somebody run and did him like that. Okay. The only reason Kambosos got 2 losses right now because Devin Haney did it. So y'all want dudes to walk down somebody and get outboxed like this? And I done seen Wilder get outboxed. Seen him get credit for this. Yeah, niggas is dick eating in boxing right now. That's what's going on. I done seen Wilder get outboxed like this and still drop a guy 2 or 3 times. They ain't get no credit for it. Pathetic what they doing in boxing, bro. Pathetic. 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 Look at this. Getting smoked. Oh, we don't want no running rule in boxing. We don't want no running rule. We don't want no running rule. Getting outboxed. Anybody say Teofimo got robbed in this fight? Let me show y'all how good everybody can score a fight now. We're going to expose something else while we watching this. Did anybody say Teofimo got robbed in this fight? Do y'all know that everybody say Kambosos performed better than Lomachenko did against Teofimo? But they say Kambosos is the bum, though. Yeah, exactly, man. Point proven. Point proven. Y'all lucky I don't pull up Steve Claggett. And Steve Claggett's worse than this. He won the fight. You said Haney's cheeks was in the air? Okay. This is not a prison channel, and this is not an LGBT camp channel, bro. I mean, I welcome all people, but that's not the kind of content I put out here, buddy. I'm not Casanat or I show speed. I don't do none of those cheeks out, whatever that is. I don't talk about none of that. Once you start bringing stuff, argument. So it is what it's time to try time it is. Yeah, man. So we was talking about running, right? Oh, who else y'all like? Y'all like Tank? Do everybody like Tank? Y'all like Tyson Fury? Who y'all want to pull up next? Ryan Garcia, Tank, or Tyson Fury? Matter of fact, we're gonna leave Tank out of this right now. Who y'all want to pull up? Ryan Garcia, Tyson Fury, or Anthony Joshua? Pick one. Because I'm gonna pick one for you. Those are your darlings. There's three of your media darlings right there. Tyson Fury, Canelo, or Ryan Garcia. Which one y'all want to see? Because I'm gonna pick one myself. I'm pulling Ryan Garcia up. Pulling Ryan Garcia up. Let me pull him up right now. Oh yeah, you can keep trolling. I don't mind that. I'm gonna let this video do the talking though. While you doing all that, I'm gonna let the video do the talking. Everybody love trolling till it's time to talk about the actual fight though. You see what I'm saying? These dudes don't talk about boxing. I'm gonna speed this up since it's so long. Let me see. Yeah, they expect me to sit here and let me see. Dang, hold on. I'm trying to pull it back up. I don't know why it ain't showing. Hold on. Pull this all down. But yeah, man, let me pull this up so y'all can see this real quick. Because they definitely ain't gonna want me to pull this up. The boy is mad Ryan Garcia at the house right now crying. The boy is mad Ryan Garcia at the house chilling. Oh, trust me, y'all can never make me mad about Ryan Garcia. I knew this was gonna happen last year. You remember PEDs don't matter, remember? You the one who watch boxing all day and don't know what PEDs are. Joke's on you. Oh my God, what? What's going on? What was that? What was that? What is Ryan doing? Is he running? Oh, don't tell me this is running. Is he running? Why he keep skipping back like that? Is he running? Oh, what is that? Is he running? Oh, they go left hook. Okay, bet. The famous left hook. Why they ain't do nothing? Oh, Ryan ain't running. It's just, he been out a year like Haney, so, yeah, all that trolling and everything, get out of here. So like I was saying, nobody has any answers about this stuff. We just have a lot of trolls in boxing. I mean, the boxing world has won, bro. The trolls is on top right now. And the fighters that they've been promoting over the last 10 years, they haven't lived up to expectations. You picked the wrong ones. You said Loma when you should have said Terrence Crawford. You said Anthony Joshua when you should have said Usyk. Or matter of fact, no, you said Fury when you should have said Usyk. You said Joshua when you should have been saying Wilder. Yeah, that's how that works. And we can keep going. You said Ryan Garcia when you should have been saying Haney. Oh, he runs. Okay, what did Ryan Garcia do in this fight? He didn't run and he still looks like what? He didn't run and he did what? And this is again made Rolly look like Canelo. I'm pretty sure Ryan same way Charlo did against Canelo. But he's getting credit for that for some reason. So 2 fights where he's quit. Can we find 2 fights where Devin Haney quit like Ryan Garcia did? What's up, J-Man? What's going on? Can we find 2 fights where Ryan Garcia quit like y'all say Devin Haney? Y'all say Devin Haney was running. So can we find 2 fights where Devin Haney quit? Can we find one? What fight can I turn on next? If I turn on Loma versus Haney, it's gonna be a classic. That boy scared. Well, look at that feint he doing. He ain't doing nothing. Look at him. Scared. Look at him. That boy, he should be moonwalking. Against Rolly? Okay, we talking about running rules in boxing? Okay now. Okay, Turkey. I know who you talking about. You talking about this guy, right? Yeah, this who Turkey talking about. I don't know if y'all know it or not. Turkey talking about the main event. He talking about the main event. I don't know if everybody knows it or not, but the main event was Rolly versus Ryan. And it was a pretty trash fight. Only thing good about it was the second round. It's a pretty trash fight, though. Y'all do know that, right? Did everybody forget that? Or is Rolly getting credit for his performance as well? Because Rolly ain't did what Haney. Guess what? Haney fought better against Ryan than Rolly did without the knockdown. And they still said he lost. Oh, if I'm capping, why did y'all like that fight? Because Ryan didn't win all those rounds. He only got a couple of knockdowns. Ryan did not win any rounds by outboxing Devin Haney. Ryan has not won any rounds by outboxing a lot of people in a long time. He did not win any rounds by outboxing Haney. I told people that last year, and they found out this year. So if anybody is like, because people say, oh, Fabio Wardley is like Deontay Wilder. If anybody you want to say, because y'all say people get outboxed by somebody, but nah, Wilder got outboxed by Fury. He would never get outboxed by Rolly Romero. That's why I can say Ryan Garcia is a bum, and nobody can say nothing to me. Nobody in boxing, not a legend, an expert, a referee, a judge, a promoter. He got outboxed by Rolly. Is Rolly a better fighter than Tyson Fury? So it's getting a draw with Tyson Fury embarrassing. So that's embarrassing. So if that's embarrassing, then he's a bum then. That's why I said everybody narratives, y'all cut it out. Because we keeping receipts. The receipts is here right now. I'm just using receipts. I'm supposed to be doing like 3 or 4 lives instead of doing this right now. But you know, the fans, I know people want to talk about this running rule or whatever. But threw 200 punches in this fight. Deontay Wilder threw 200 against Joseph Parker. They said Deontay Wilder should retire. For Ryan Garcia, they getting on their little weak knees and doing their occupation. Man, nobody care about no y'all was up here trolling about Ryan earlier. You said cheeks up about Haney, right? You said cheeks up, right? That what y'all said? Y'all was saying cheeks up? What about Ryan though? So everybody, when y'all hear me always dropping a hotline about Ryan and live, it's because dudes like this still walking around. Now this dude went out here and embarrassed the sport of boxing. Had the worst kind of main event we ever seen. Then Canelo followed it up. 2 Mexican fighters. We gave them what they want. They ain't want the black fighters. They want the Mexican fighters. We gave them what they want, and they failed. Now they want to come out with a running rule, and they worried about the co-main event. That's like Michael Jackson saying Tito stole his spot. Like, man, I used to be in the background. Tito tripping. So I don't want to be moonwalking out here in the front. Tito need to be. I'm trying to get back in the line with Tito then. I used to be on the side. Now everybody want Ryan Garcia to be co-main event again, or what? What? I know we ain't worried about the co-main event. Plant fall. Oh, hold on. When Caleb Plant fall, oh, that's about it. That's it as far as that right now. But like I was saying earlier, so I had the compy boxer up, and I'll pull him back up for everybody who's just coming in. But we was talking about running, and I've started pulling out compy box because that's what I do now. You know, everybody they gonna bite the swag, but it is what it is. You know, it's for everybody. I'm just letting it be known that opinion stuff, you better leave it at home. Ryan Garcia he landed 2 punches in the 11th round against Roller Romero. He needed those last 2 rounds. This is where he quit at. He quit and ran to his mommy at this point. Because everybody talking about Bill is always speaking of a Haney. Ryan ran to his mama's titty after this. He landed 2 punches in the 11th round. And he landed 4 punches in the 12th round. I don't like no front runners, man. I don't like no front runners in boxing. Everybody talking about that running rule, those dudes is front runners. They want to hide this boy. They want to hide him and let him disrespect everybody, call him all kind of derogatory names. And then when he in his worst position, now he want to go hide. Nah, don't do that. You ain't finna hide from me. These fans want to protect this dude. Y'all can't protect him. If you protect him, you're gonna get ran over too. So that's what it is for anybody. Y'all want to protect these boxers and keep pushing out these fake news, you're gonna get ran over too. Y'all got turkey out of sheet listening to a YouTuber instead of legends of the sport of boxing who already been boxing. Why are you agreeing with a YouTuber who ain't did nothing for the sport of boxing? That's a red flag anyways, Turkey. You agreeing with a nobody who ain't did nothing for the sport? But dudes who end up in wheelchairs, you ain't go ask a man who in a wheelchair right now because of boxing about a running rule. How about that? I respect Turkey out of shit, he do that. Some YouTuber on YouTube. Even if he asked somebody like me, I'd be like, I don't know. Shoot, ask somebody else. Who box? Who got to sign the contract? We got dudes that end up in wheelchairs. They mama got to take care of. And we got dudes out here like, yeah, no running rule. You could tell that dude ain't never been in the sport and ended up in the hospital behind the sport. Whether it's football, basketball, baseball, nothing. You can't tell me you done played sports for 13, 14 years of your life, like the average person, and you talking about a running rule. Dudes end up paralyzed in football. There's people in wheelchairs right now because of football. Dudes talking about running rules. Man, if y'all keep listening to these guys, okay. Where's that got you? Everybody they co-sign is at home right now, thinking about retirement. All the fighters I co-sign, they in wars right now, fighting for everything. keeping the sport alive. Your favorite fighter robbing and stealing from the sport, canceling fights and all kind of other stuff. Don't want to fight nobody. Everybody running around in cliques. My favorite fighter got fighter of the years. I don't post no pump fakers on my channel. Dude's got a million videos about left hooks, and now dudes is at home after stealing $20 million. Ryan Garcia threw 6 punches the last 2 rounds and made $20 million. And y'all talking about a running rule. These fake fans in boxing. I'll repeat what I just said. Ryan Garcia made $20 million in boxing. Everybody ain't making $20 million. Some of these people would never make $20 million. Matter of fact, some guys, I think Martin Bacoli, he just made $500K or something like that. And that was career high money for him. And this dude been sparring Usyk and Joshua, Dubois, and everybody. And he just beat Jared Anderson. Ryan got like $20 million and landed 6 punches the last 2 rounds. And these famous YouTubers are talking about a running rule right now. Yeah, who's paying those guys? Yeah, somebody getting paid. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't putting no names out there, but somebody getting paid. It's a lot of people getting paid. I can't compete with no Agent Smiths, y'all. I ain't Neo. I can bring you the information. I'm more like Morpheus. I can bring the information, but I ain't for. Hey, Agent Smith. Hey, I can't fight all these guys. They got all these Agent Smiths walking around in boxing. You ain't got no boxer running around right now talking about running rule. That's why I said I don't know why boxers got podcasts. People think I'm bluffing, like I'm hating. It's a real question. Why does a boxer have a podcast right now? And fans is asking dudes who ain't never boxed before, asking them about running rules. But you got boxers with podcasts, and none of them asking the boxers about, hey, what y'all think about the running rule? You got a dude who ain't never boxed before, like, yeah, we should start a running rule, man. He right. So if Muhammad Ali was walking around right now, they'd be saying he a runner. That's what the sport of boxing then come down to. They calling dudes like Ali a runner. Y'all know how bad that is? This is considered running in boxing right now. They consider this running. A running rule. Man, these dudes I'm telling y'all, these dudes at the end of the day, bro, the narratives in boxing, this is how people get paid, and they not thinking about the sport. People trying to cash out on narratives. I can come out here and saying some fake stuff every day. Slandering a boxer. All my stuff ain't about slandering somebody. I got something serious to talk about probably later on or probably tomorrow or something, whatever. The next story y'all gonna hear me talk about, y'all gonna be like, man, it's the craziest boxer story right now. It ain't got nothing to do with no running. All these dudes who talking about running right now, they ain't gonna talk about the next story I'm talking about. The next story y'all gonna hear me talk about, it's gonna be the craziest story you heard in 2025 of boxing. Craziest story. Hands down. And they talking about running rules right now. So Ali, if he was boxing right now, he'll be a runner. You already got people talking about, oh, well, Ali was talking trash. So why these other fighters can't talk trash? Because Keyshawn Davis ain't no goddamn Ali. That's why. How many times I got to say that? Dudes like Keyshawn Davis ain't no Ali. So because you think he could beat somebody, stop it. Resume was the same way it was last week. Hey, why Ryan can't talk like Ali? Why Teofimo Lopez and Keyshawn, Ali did it. They comparing these fighters to Ali, but they only worry about one fighter though. But then they say guys that run, they box like Ali. average boxing fan right now that considers themselves a person who's a diehard and that supports guys like the running rule and everything else, they consider a guy like Ali to be a runner, bro. I'm just bringing perspective to everybody about where the sport is right now. If Ali was walking around today, they would say he's a bum that runs. Because he did, everybody like, yeah. So you gotta die to get respect in boxing? Nah, we ain't doing that. Nah. So y'all got boxing fans walking around right now that they ain't gonna respect you till you die. If you running, if you active right now and you moving around like Ali and you boxing like Ali, you ain't finna get no respect. If you in a wheelchair or you ain't boxing no more, oh yeah, they gonna love you. They love Mike Tyson. I told y'all last year, as soon as I started this channel, I said they let all these fighters do whatever they want, but Mike Tyson can't do whatever he want. And God answered my prayers. The very next year, he let Mike Tyson do whatever he want. And what did these boxing fans say? Mike Tyson came out here and did whatever he want. And what did these boxing fans say? The ones who sat up here and let all these other boxers who's active right now do the same thing Mike Tyson did. Canelo just tried to do the same thing Mike Tyson did. We hearing about Tank. We got Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., a guy who fought Canelo. Canelo still active, running around, and you trying to fight Jake Paul? But Mike do it. Oh, no, he can't do whatever he want. I told y'all, these dudes who don't like Mike Tyson still walking around. It's just that when he got a blunt in his mouth, everybody like, yeah, Mike, man. They ain't like Mike Tyson. They showed their hand already. They showed their hand already. Already showed it. It's way deeper than what y'all think. It could be Mike Tyson, Ali. They don't respect these dudes. As far as popularity, the closest thing you can find to an Ali in boxing is probably a Tyson. As far as popularity. And look what they did when Tyson came back. Man, what he trying to fight Jake Paul for? He 100 years old. I don't care what he did with the sport of boxing, man. Oh, Canelo trying to fight Jake Paul. Oh, he can do whatever he want, man. Look at his resume. For real, man. And I got a video I did a live in January where I said Canelo versus Skull is the worst undisputed fight ever in history. And I know people will say, oh, you probably changed the title like that. No, because you'll go to the video and I'm saying for 2 hours, this is the worst fight in history in January. You said this channel garbage? I appreciate that bit, dog. Sting like a bee, exactly. And Ali got some classics. What? Man, Ali got some classics. Letting them hands go. I grew up watching Ali. At first, when I seen Ali doing it, because I was a kid, you know, I didn't know what he was doing. I'm like, why he moving so much? Then I'm starting to realize, oh, okay, the other guy getting tired. So that's when I realized, oh, to be a great boxer, you got to be in shape. A lot of these guys can't even go 12 rounds. A lot of these guys can't even move around for 12 rounds. And these dudes talking about, yeah, these dudes moving around for 12 rounds. That's why they got a ring like that. I mean, if they wanted you to just sit in one place, they'll get you 2 chairs, and y'all could just sit there and punch each other while you're sitting in the chair. That ain't how boxing works. Dudes want to be out of shape, fat, drinking beer and Modelo's and everything else during the weekend, and then they want to hurry up and cut weight real quick with a PED, and then go back to partying on the weekend. No, that ain't how boxing work, homie. Ain't no more cutting corners. All that partying and everything else is gonna catch up to you. Yeah, Ali ain't no runner. Like, man, they talking about. You said they talking about Haney and Skull. You said they talking about Haney and Skull. You said Haney's a runner, bro. If Haney's a runner, like, let me tell you something. How dumb that sounds that people say that. Let's just say that's true that Haney is a runner. Let's say if what y'all say is true about him being a runner, let's just say everybody consider Haney a runner right now. Why the hell y'all still watching him? We got a whole bunch of Mexican fighters right now that's fighting on Telemundo. Why y'all ain't over there? You got a whole bunch of fighters right now fighting on Russia Today and everything else. Why they ain't over there? You got the Zone, you got Amazon. It ain't no excuse. You got more access to other boxers than you ever had. You got guys fighting on YouTube, YouTube channels, platforms, Pro Box, Amazon. Dudes is fighting on Amazon now. You know, you could have just turned it off when Haney came on, right? So you watched that card for Ryan Garcia, right? And what is he doing now? Ain't nobody forcing these guys to watch Devin Haney. I'm sorry to tell you. Anybody complaining about all that, talking about him and Lomachenko for the last year, that's the best fight Loma's been in, the only pay-per-view. So to be honest with you, if Devin Haney is trash, that means Lomachenko is a bum then. That means Lomachenko let somebody who y'all consider a runner to walk him down. That confirms what I said about that means Loma's a bum. I don't know if everybody understand that. If Loma got walked down by a runner, he is a bum. So keep saying that Haney is a runner. Because I'm glad y'all pushing them narratives out there. So y'all telling me that Jose Ramirez is more dangerous than Lomachenko. That means Lomachenko is a bum. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that Ryan Garcia is more dangerous than Lomachenko. He's a bum. So that's how pushing narratives get you. So I can roll with that. That's cool. We good with that? We agree on that? If Haney's a runner, then Loma's a bum. Yeah, Lomachenko's best fight was getting walked down by a runner. Yeah, he's a bum. How about that? We can agree? You say you're a runner, right? Yeah, exactly. Like I said, bro, all these dudes, man, they at the house now. Everybody's favorite boxer, they at the crib. Terrence Crawford got Canelo career on life support. If Canelo wasn't fighting Crawford, he wouldn't be doing nothing in the sport of boxing right now. So Terrence Crawford needs to be getting all thanks for saving y'all favorite boxer career because it was finna be over. He was finna be fighting Jake Paul. Over with. Ryan Garcia at home, don't want to be the face of boxing no more. He hurt, he tired. He didn't take another year off. He fight once a year. He want to be the new Tank. He don't want to be like Canelo. No. I don't want to be like Canelo. No, I don't want to be like Canelo. I just made $20 million. I'm trying to fight once a year. And then people are like, yeah, it makes sense because, if you fight twice a year, that means you're going to be getting by and you're going to be eating like a fat cat while everybody else is fighting in wars. Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah, it does make sense why Ryan Garcia want to sit at the house another year and talk about what he going to do. Yeah, that does make sense. I just want to box again, man. What you kept saying last year, they suspended me. I just want to box again. I just want to box so bad, man. You got Shakur out here fighting with broken hands. And Ryan hurt his wrist from opening the door or something, allegedly. And now he out for a whole year. Man, stop it. And people talking about Shakur running. At least he fighting. Shakur making weight and he fighting. What do I tell everybody on this channel? If anybody knows me, my number one thing I always say since I started this channel, all I care about is dudes making weight. What I always said about Tank Davis. Only thing I cared about Tank was making weight and respecting the OGs. As soon as he stopped slipping on the OG respect with Calvin, he went up there and got whooped by Lamont Roach. So I know when I say Tank is my favorite fighter, one of my favorite fighters, I mean it. As soon as he started slipping with Calvin Ford, he went out there and got whooped. Everybody better go back and watch that. What fight was it? Ryan Garcia fight? Calvin said, "You better step on him right now." You ain't hear exactly. But do Calvin get credit for that? I put Calvin on Trainer of the Year to vote for, and he ain't getting out one vote. But I get dudes over here trolling about Tank. Yeah, man, y'all be hating on Tank. But y'all, that's what I notice about these dudes. They don't be giving none of these trainers respect until something go wrong. Bill Haney been doing good the whole time. That Ryan Garcia fight happened. Everybody, man, Devin need to change his trainers. He need to let his dad go. What about Ryan's dad? But I got a video on that coming up soon though. Y'all gonna love that. You gonna love that one. I was supposed to do it today, but yeah, man, like I was saying, as far as the running and everything, it's not really a real narrative. A lot of these guys are not letting their hands go in Riyadh season. If you look at most of the fights, there's not fights in Riyadh where guys are letting their hands go and they're just beating people down. Nobody. That's not happening because a lot of these guys not even getting enough tune-ups before the fight. Like when Riyadh started, a lot of these guys were rusty. Like Joseph Parker was already active. That's why I said some of these people already had plans put together. You got dudes that was already fighting 3 or 4 times before Riyadh started. Then you got other guys that ain't fought in a year. But when these fans start to sit up here and say, "Oh man, with Keyshawn being," I'm gonna tell y'all something else though. Recently, with people saying Keyshawn being 4 or 5 pounds over was disrespectful, but they ain't want to say that when Ryan did it. A lot of these people, bruh, I mean, to say something like that, you gotta be getting paid, bruh. There's no way, or you just extremely racist. There's no way that Ryan Garcia could be overweight last year and you don't think nothing about it. But then you wait a whole year later and you want to criticize one guy. It got to be because of the views, bro. It got to be. It got to be the views. That's why I ain't go too hard on him because I'm like, bro, we just had somebody fail PEDs. That's worse than being overweight. Even though being overweight is bad, it's like y'all trying to add new rules and everybody ain't following the rules we got now. Ain't that stupid? We got rules now. Nobody wants to follow. But they like, yeah, let's add another rule in. We can't get the judging right, the scoring, the refereeing. They letting some people clinch and other guys can't clinch. Other guys, if you hold too much, you're gonna lose. Other guys, they can hold as a strategy and wear people down. They don't get warned for that. I didn't see nobody warning. I'm gonna go back too. I don't want to do it but I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna watch Tyson Fury fight Wilder. I want to see how many times he clinched. I want to go back and see how many times he clinched. Because I've seen people talk about when Haney was fighting, I think it was Kambosos or something, they had a clinch counter or whatever. I want to go back and see that. I want to test that theory because the numbers I'm seeing right now from this compy box, comparing Wilder to Ryan Garcia, and then Tyson Fury throwing 200 punches, then against Usyk he throwing 500. These dudes is running, but the fans aren't watching the fights. They're not watching them. They don't watch the fights, man. The diehard fans watch the ones who care about the sport, but the people who Turkey is agreeing with right now, they don't watch the sport, bro. I'm being real with you. The people that Turkey agrees with does not watch boxing. They don't. They don't know any boxers that's been put in wheelchairs and stuff like that. They don't know why guys move around the ring or don't. And to be honest with you, the times that guys have moved around the ring, it's always been some fishy stuff going on with the other boxer they're in the ring with. I know plenty of times where guys have been in there with cheaters or possible cheaters. Sometimes I can't prove it, so I ain't gonna bring it up. But I've seen some things where guys have been in the ring with certain people and they weren't the same, or they got hit by a guy and now they're chinny. People say, "Oh, that guy's chinny because he got hit with a brick." That's why. And it happens. That's why guys are going over there fighting with Turkey. Turkey like, oh, guys is running. Nah, guys is not juicing. We had Munguia pop dirty, and he still went toe to toe with the guy, and he wasn't aggressive. The first fight, he fought against the guy he fought. Then the second fight, he wasn't aggressive. That's why nobody talked about the fight. They said, man, all these fights is bad this weekend. And that man was still dirty. And then people don't realize it. Well, allegedly, I don't know. They're still going through the process. You know, you got to say that on these parts with certain people. But you look at it now, at the whole process, man, all these guys popping dirty. You got guys getting sick at Riyadh season, Dubois and Floyd Schofield. Then you got the guy Dennis McCann, I think that's his name. I think he popped. And then you have Munguia just popped dirty. So every time we have a Riyadh season, there's always been something going on the last 3 events. Bro, I'm not thinking about no running rule right now. I'm thinking about how dudes is not testing right now, so they won't be dirty by the time the fight happens. Why everybody ain't tested 24/7 like Devin Haney right now? I'm gonna be honest with you. None of these boxers right now are good enough to be making $40-50 million talking about something I'm not finna be testing year round. All of the rest of us citizens out here, when we get a job, they test us year round, or they might do a random. If something happen, they gonna test us. These dudes making $40-50 million. They are never gonna test. Trust me, most of us out here would never make $40-50 million for taking a drug test. So y'all telling me right now, if somebody give y'all $40-50 million, y'all ain't gonna be clean for at least the whole event and the time you training for a couple of months for $40-50 million? Nah, I can't relate to these guys. If you got to get high that bad, bro, it's on you. You deserve to be broke. You deserve to starve. That's the easiest lottery in the game. Ain't nobody making $40-50 million in 30 minutes. They can't even do that in the NBA. So nah, if you can't pass a drug test doing that, that's on you. They talking about some, yeah, we can't do year-round testing. You ain't trying to make no money then. That's cool. He a dirty fighter. That's how you find out who dirty out here. So all that running stuff, to be honest with you, dirty. They've been dirty, and now they've been clean when they've been dealing with Turkey Al Sheik. That's why all these dudes are taking tune-ups, because they want to see how they look first. All of a sudden, you start getting $30, $40, $50 million put in your face, and you like, yeah, let me take a tune-up real quick before I jump. Now you want to take a tune-up? I thought you was that guy. Everybody said you fighting everybody. And I ain't got to say no names. Y'all can put 2 or 2 together, because it's a few of those guys doing that. And you getting the exclusive over here. You're not going to hear this nowhere else. But trust me, I know everybody else know. Yeah. Turkey don't want to say it, but dudes is going out there looking regular for a reason. They're looking extra regular. Then guys are trying to dial it back, not trying to use too much or whatever. I mean, it's a lot of reasons why people use PED and stuff. Do people use it to lose weight? Absolutely. But a lot of these guys is partying though. All these dudes ain't vegan and stuff like that. They ain't doing everything they can to lose weight. I'll just say that. They ain't eating healthy and everything. We just seeing dudes drunk in between fights. They ain't doing everything they can. I've even seen Cam Newton, who was a football player, become vegan doing they can to lose weight. These dudes are cutting corners for real. And now you're starting to see certain guys cutting corners and they can't do anything. That's why when Keyshawn had the situation recently, as far as that weight, I told y'all, 4 or 5 pounds is a weapon in boxing. Edwin De Los Santos' team just exposed the whole boxing world recently. Something I was saying last year. I told y'all 4 or 5 pounds is a weapon. Luis Nery went over there to Japan, weighed 3 pounds over, and destroyed a guy. Ended the man's career. Just by being a couple of pounds over, ended that man's career. Put that man on house arrest. He is done. Beat him up so bad they had to put the dude in the Hall of Fame recently. Just because he was a couple of pounds over. And got banned for life. And I'm pretty sure Luis Neary is a big name in boxing. So all these people knew this. And this is what's going on. And in the background, like, yeah, man, they're just letting everybody come in overweight. Cool. They're not caring about 3 pounds over. Everybody's done it. Lamo's just done it. It's not a big deal. So to be real with you, everybody made it okay, to be honest with you. But if you call it out these days, you hating, you complaining. Oh, these dudes complaining, they hating. So at the end of the day, bro, the best thing to do is just report the news and just watch it happen. You got to be reactive these days. You just got to react to everything. But that's going to be too late, though. Keyshawn been moving too much, man. But they want to wait till something happens. It is what it is. Now, they're going to have, matter of fact, I'm on here talking about the undercard. They're going to have Abdullah Mason fighting Sam Noakes for a championship belt. Yeah, they're going to be Sam card for Canelo versus Crawford. I was talking to Joseph Bailey about that recently. He was like, he might be the co-main event. But I think he's gonna be the first fight probably on the undercard. I mean, not undercard, but the main card. You know how like UFC they have the prelim card? Well, they do it in boxing too. They have the prelim card, then they have the main card. I think he's gonna be the first fight on the main card because they're gonna have Kristen and Billy versus Selecki on there. And they're gonna have Juntown Nakatani on there. Guy Riyadh, he's gonna be on the undercard. He fought on the he was the only guy who fought before. It was another fight too, but he fought before Teofimo Lopez on that undercard for Rolly versus Ryan Garcia. So he's on the undercard. I had the names up here. I forgot where Yeah, but he's on there. That guy, the Saudi Arabian guy on Turkish cards. I think he might have fought on the Crawford card. I think he was the first fight. Not a lot of big names, but they got him Billy. I heard something about Tevin Farmer said he wants to be on the card. Then Janovic said today that he will fight Carlos Adames on that fight card. He said, I'll fight Carlos Adames on so you have a lot of fighters right now that's setting up just to get on the card with on the Crawford Canelo card. They seen all the big names come out. Not big names, but they seen all the names come out. Now all the bigger names want to be involved. Yeah, they're reporting on it now. Let me see. Yeah, they reporting what I said earlier. Nah, this ain't the names I seen. This ain't the names. They got some things on there they're talking about. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find the names. I had them before I got on here. I done searched about a million things since 9 o'clock this morning, so. Yeah, I had more names. Where is it at? Yeah, I'll find it again. But yeah, that was most of the names though. They had like Nakatani, they added yesterday. So it's gonna be a lot of names that be on there, but they might snatch a couple of those small. They are gonna be good for prelim fight. There's too many big names coming out right now saying they want to be on the card. Tevin Farmer said he wants to be on there. He expects to beat Floyd Schofield. He said he's gonna beat Floyd Schofield in July, and he wants to be on the September card. Then Adames, no, Janovic said he would fight Adames on that card. I actually want to see that fight. If Janovic can do it, yeah, he needs to make it happen. Yeah, Abdullah Mason, the future, bro. He a beast. He definitely a problem. Right now, you know, guys like Virgil Ortiz stepping in that role right now. Cause right now, Virgil that guy. Everybody starting to mess up, having all these issues. Right now, Virgil that guy. The names he's being mentioned with, he's on that level. So I think he's the next guy that really could. If I want to say something that's really probably shocking to a lot of people, but that dude like 1 or 2 fights away from being a face of boxing. He making things happen right now. He was only at 154 1 year and fought 2 top 10 guys, top 5. So yeah, he's at that point. I think Abdullah Mason, he's going. And a lot of fans, and the fans are smart too. Boxing fans, you can't fool them, man. They know Abdullah Mason is a real deal. Boxing fans been looking at him since like 2023. That's when a lot of people start comparing him to Keyshawn. Telling you, people know what they're talking about. That's why people be like, "Oh man, these guys are just talking, bro. These fans are smarter than y'all think, bro. They be knowing everybody's resumes. These dudes are smart. Trust me. They've been mentioning Abdullah Mason with Keyshawn for like 2 years now." And the fans pay attention to guys who actually want to get in the ring and fight. That's why I said these other guys like Tiafimo, they got to realize it's other guys like Abdullah Mason and everybody else, Tito Machado. All these guys want to take your spot. I mean, you're not getting younger. The same way y'all did Loma, these guys trying to do y'all the same way. And Turkey Al-Sheikh throwing around $20-30 million for a title fight. Yeah, they're going to try to get y'all up out of there, especially Abdullah Mason. He trying to get rich now. And Turkey didn't already sign him, so that's a red flag for everybody. Turkey Al-Sheikh is signing fighters that young, so if you want to qualify, you're going to have to get in the ring. See, Turkey was doing all that good stuff, man. He signing prospects that's proving themselves and moving up the rankings fast. Guys becoming contenders at a young age, 2021. Then he come around with this running rule. I'm like, come on, man. I know what he's talking about, though, but put a name on it. I'm spending that much money. I'm telling y'all right now, any of y'all, if y'all was spending that much money giving guys $40 million, $50 million for a 30-minute fight, y'all gonna say some names. Y'all gonna be like, hey, man, Ryan, you got to pick it up. Or so-and-so, whoever it is, you got to pick it up, bro. Especially if we're doing another fight together. We ain't doing this no more. Cause Turkey, he usually do like 2 fights with a guy, and he's done after that. He'll do 1 or 2 fights, and then he's off after that. He's not gonna do a lot of fights with these guys to keep pressing the issue. If you're not trying to really be doing a lot of fights, like right now, he's doing what Justice Huoney. I'll use him for example. Justice Huoney fought on the I think he was on the Day of Reckoning card. He was on one of those cards, the Day of Reckoning or another one. But he was fighting on Riyadh season. Him and Jai Patai. They went to Australia, fought some domestic fights. Then Huoney just fought Wardley. That's the same thing that Bacoli just did. I'm gonna show y'all something. Bacoli just stepped in for Dubois. Turkey called him, hey man, you'll be able to step in for me? Yeah, I got you, Turkey. Stepped in. Then Huoney, when Big Baby Miller pulled out the fight, he's like, hey, Huoney, you can pull in, you can step in for me? Yeah, I'll step in. So he has young fighters that he gonna put out there if you're ready. But that's gonna mean that a lot of other guys that consider themselves big names or exciting, they're gonna get left behind real fast. That's gonna be the only bad thing about it. It's like, be careful who we promote, because in 2026 that guy might not be active, or he might fight one time, and it's gonna be in August 2026 or something like that. So a lot of that stuff gonna be happening. That's why he's saying don't run, because hey, you might not be on another card. A lot of people looking at it a certain way as far as, but he would have said names if it was really a big deal like it was. But I'm pretty sure he has other things to deal. It's not gonna be something I'm not too sure, but I don't think so. It would have happened with the last fight. He probably just throwing a message out there like, hey, I'm paying all this money. Let's just try to make it exciting. It's still entertainment at the end of the day. So, which it is, it's still entertainment. UFC, if you're not doing nothing the first minute, they're gonna boo you. Man, I done seen a good fight in UFC and they booed the whole time. I'm like, man. So in boxing, they ain't really got it as bad as I seen UFC. They boo you the whole time. In a good fight. Dudes will be bleeding all over the ring. If you ain't moving, they gonna be like, boo. They know it's like a 15-minute fight. They like, man, I ain't come out here for this. It's 15 minutes. Oh yeah, facts. You comparing to Sugar Ray? That's a good one. I made a list the other day, Poncho. I made a list of young fighters. My phone dead right now, so I don't know what it is. I put a name with Abdullah Mesa, but I don't know what it is though. I'm gonna have to look it up. But you know who he reminds me of? It's weird that I said this because I never compared a fighter to this guy. But for some reason, I say he reminds me of Holyfield. I don't know why. But reminds me of Holyfield though. His whole demeanor, how he acts, and how he fights anybody, just the way he fights in the ring. Reminds me of Holyfield. Definitely does. I have no idea why, but I haven't seen any fighter in the last, like, tell you, I've been watching boxing for a while. The last 30 years, I haven't seen any boxer where I say he reminds me of Holyfield. Not one. But for some reason, he's not a heavyweight, cruiserweight, or nothing. I keep seeing Holyfield when he fights, though. It's kind of weird. It was another name, too, but I can't think of it. But it's one guy that reminds me of Devin Haney. It's only one fighter right now reminds me of Devin Haney. And I don't know. Right now, I'm gonna say it, but I think the fighter Scooter Davis. I don't know if anybody's seen him. They say he's a Tank Davis protege or whatever, but he fight like Devin Haney to me. That's the only fighter I've seen that I actually can look at and be like, he reminds me of Devin Haney a little bit. So that's the only fighter I can really look at right now and be like, that is a Devin Haney type of fighter. So with him, I'm gonna be honest with you. With him, he's gonna be a problem for a lot of fighters. Whether it's Abdullah Mason as well, that's gonna be a good fight one day if they can make that happen. A Keyshawn Davis, it's a very dangerous fight. I'm telling you, we got a lot of prospects right now. This ain't like how it was when Tank them was coming out. When Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson and those guys were coming out, it wasn't that many prospects that they were like promoting like that. But right now, hold on, it's two Ponchos? That's your other account, Poncho? Somebody out here, I know somebody out here cloning my dog Poncho out here. Somebody trying to copy Poncho. But yeah, right now, I'm looking at Scooter Davis, bro. He gonna be a problem, bro. In like 2 years, like Keyshawn Davis, these guys, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. he might be better than Keyshawn when it get to that point, man. I'm be real with y'all. Scooter Davis is a problem, bro. He only got 7 fights. I don't know why. I've been looking at this guy for like a year and a half, 2 years. Bruh, it's something. I don't know what it is about this dude. I watched Abdullah Mason, right? 2 years ago. I'm like, man, Abdullah Mason, the best fighter I've seen. As far as a prospect, this dude Scooter Davis is a problem, bro. I'm letting everybody know that right now. Like, if y'all looking for a guy who's telling you, the closest thing I seen to a Haney is Scooter Davis. I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong, bro. This dude is a beast. Look him up. He is a clone of Haney. Seen him fighting this weekend. I'm like, bro, this dude look like Haney for real. Telling you, that's gonna be a guy when Keyshawn really messed himself up. Because now you're putting yourself in a position where you're gonna have to go through guys like him, Abdullah Mason, other fighters. Yeah, it's not gonna be easy for him. Tito Machado, he got a lot of fights. You know what Keyshawn was saying recently about, man, I can't find no fights. It's about 30 guys right now. And I know at least half of y'all think that those guys could possibly compete with Keyshawn. Yeah, check him out, Pancho. He a beast. He a beast, bro. But he's the closest thing I seen to Haney. And I don't be looking for fighters that's like, man, let me see the next Floyd or none of that. None of it. But this guy, as far as, yeah, he's a beast. That's why I say Keyshawn, he in the worst position, man. Cause Ryan Garcia, he actually has it better because he can go to 47, and I ain't gonna say 47 is weak because it is a good division. It's always good, always been good, but 140 is a lot more stacked. It just has too many fighters that came from 135. Then it's already guys that been at 140 for like 10 years. Barbosa just had his first title fight after being there most of his career, as far as I know. But yeah, it's a deep division, man. Dangerous. A lot of guys ain't getting knocked out at 140 right now. Every fight is a dog fight going 12 rounds. Keyshawn want a part of that? Be my guest. Yeah, I'm just dropping belts. I'm moving on. Okay. This ain't 2015, dog. Ain't no platform finna save you now. If that was the case, they would have did that with Tiafimo. But yeah, he's a beast. He's a problem. As far as I seen, it's more prospects than two I'm gonna talk about in a video. I gotta go back over a lot of these people because his names I'm adding, and I didn't even put Abdullah Mason on there because I thought he was a contender when the year started. Even though he was still at prospect status, I felt like he was a contender. And then you got guys like Keyshawn kind of giving him the spotlight, calling him out, then moving up. Telling you, bro, he in a bad position. Abdullah Mason is in a way better position than Keyshawn because he still has room to grow even if he becomes a champion. Keyshawn got to fight for everything because the minute that one of these prospects like Abdullah Mason, I mean not prospect, he a contender now, about to be a champion. One of these guys move up, these young guys, it's gonna be a problem for a lot of these fighters. I'm telling you right now. I already seen how Keyshawn was ready to fight Lamont Roach. Yeah, I'll fight Roach next. And when those Santos was like, oh, I'll fight next. You trying to fight Roach? Oh, you trying to fight for real? Yeah, let's get in the ring. Gets in the ring and nothing happens. Well, don't even get in the ring. Don't even get in the ring. So yeah, a lot of these guys, and I'm gonna tell you too, a lot of these young guys needed to see that. What Keyshawn did last week, a lot of young fighters needed to see that. So they can know that as American fans, bro, we ain't going for that, bro. We're not going for that. Even if you don't make weight, bro, we is not co-signing that. You is not Ryan Garcia, bro. Even if you was Ryan Garcia, we let him have it too. Dudes is making weight over here. Everybody thought we was overreacting when he missed weight. Man, y'all tripping, man. It's just a mistake. A mistake. Bro, this is not 2015. This guy is not Lomachenko. It's even hard for Lomachenko right now to get in position at 135. You think they finna make room for Keyshawn? I don't know, man. Bro, they think Keyshawn Davis is Lomachenko. That's why I say it's dangerous the way these people talk about Devin Haney because they make him seem like he on Keyshawn Davis level. I've been seeing that for a while now. People been talking about Keyshawn and Devin Haney like, oh, bro, y'all see me be on this channel all the time giving Keyshawn credit. Not one time have I ever said he ready to do something with Devin Haney. Not one time. The man just said recently that he was clout chasing Devin Haney. He said, oh, when I was calling out Devin Haney with only 6-7 fights, I knew I wasn't ready. This man said he knew he wasn't ready to fight Devin Haney with 6 or 7 fights. He was just calling him out just to call him out, the clout chase, so he can grow his name, basically. And everybody seen that video. I put that clip up, play it. They hear the clip, and they like, oh, man, he ain't say that. He didn't admit that he was running from Devin Haney. How you not running from Devin Haney and you calling this man out with no intention of fighting him? If he send you a contract, you're not even ready. And then you do this with Edwin De Los Santos, and I'm supposed to look the other way? So you done did this twice now. You done called somebody out and you was bluffing. You bluff with Devin Haney and you bluff with Edwin De Los Santos. I play the audio for the fans. You don't understand. I was just running around the hallways with a baby in the hallway. Y'all don't understand what's going on? Oh, okay. It's crazy. You said Roach is not that good? You said Lamont Roach is not that good? Lamont Roach has fought better than Ryan Garcia. Lamont Roach went in 12 rounds and almost quit. I mean, and Ryan Garcia quit against Tank. Anything Lamont Roach does now is spectacular. Lamont Roach confirmed thing I needed to know as far as what I've been saying about Tank. When Lamont Roach fought Tank, everything I said about Tank came true. The people that fought Tank was not trying to fight him like Lamont Roach did. Everybody puts it on a bad day. Oh, Tank just had an off day. He had a lot of stuff going on. Man, everybody got a bad day. You got dudes getting divorces and everything while they fighting. All that going on. Even Teofimo Lopez had a divorce recently. I ain't hear nobody sitting around tomorrow. Man, he's having a divorce going on. So nah, you can't use that as no excuse. He just got outworked. That's all that was. Still a good fighter, still a beast. But it just lets you know that it's levels, man. That's why I'm saying to people, like, as far as the excitement and what they looking for, I don't know, man. One of the worst fights I've seen recently was Ryan Garcia versus Tank. The only reason people was excited about that fight was because Ryan got dropped and he got stopped and quit. But it was nothing about that fight that was exciting. People don't go back and watch that fight. That ain't one of Tank's most exciting fights. Tank's most exciting fight is Eastside Cruz. And then now it's Lamont Roach. Tank's most exciting fights is him going 12 rounds. But people say they don't want to see that, though. We don't want to see guys. We want to see knockouts. How you want to see knockouts and Tank Davis' most exciting fights is him going 12 rounds? They don't want to see knockouts. They bluffing. You said Davis had to handicap Garcia to beat him? Nah, man, you weight drain yourself, bro. De Los Santos was weight drained this weekend. See, that right there is why Keyshawn did not make weight. People keep saying how Tank he weight drained Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia weight drained himself because he wanted a payday. You understand that? If you go out there and you do anything for money and you know you ain't ready and you got more followers and you say you the reason why the pay-per-view is gonna sell, but you take less of the deal and that's the reason why you lose. So basically, let me tell y'all something. This is the worst narrative in boxing, probably in boxing history. So Haney went out there and made the fight happen. So Haney went out there and did everything Keyshawn didn't do. He made weight, made the fight happen, even though dudes was overweight. Matter of fact, Haney did everything that Keyshawn and Edward Dos Santos didn't want to do. Dos Santos didn't want to fight a guy who was 4 pounds over, even if he got paid more. They offered him more money, he still turned it down. So what we congratulating guys for? These guys still ain't like Haney. They ain't trying to make the fight happen for no fans. They don't care about no fans. These guys care about getting paid. They don't care about no fans. Devin Haney care about the fans and got disrespected. And people look at me like, why would you take up for him? And all he did was give us Haney fight. I mean, the Loma fight and the Ryan fight. Yeah, I know. We need to go ahead and report him. Everybody report this guy. Y'all see this guy named Poncho? We're going to report him. Go to his channel and report him. Out here stealing names. That means he been running around acting like he you for the past couple of weeks. Yeah, I know it wasn't you, though. Mojin said Ryan came into the fight. Yeah, man. They sitting up here. Yeah, Ryan sold his soul and fought Tank when he could have just fought him at 140. And you know we're gonna blame Tank Davis. Man, stop it. And what everybody say when let me tell you, that's how you know people are hypocrites, bro. They say different things for the same situation. Then when Haney accepts the fight with Ryan Garcia and goes ahead and makes the fight, and he was in a worse position because this is the day before the fight. Ryan Garcia did this months and months before the fight happened. He could have called the fight off a long time. He could have called the fight off during. He made weight for Tank. He didn't make weight for Devin Haney though. And he made more money with Devin Haney. So Ryan Garcia disrespected the man he made the most money with. $1 million his last fight because of that. But he'll sit around and call him B though. Oh, he's a B. He's a B. He made my family rich, but he's a B. He's a B. We need to get guys like this out of the sport of boxing immediately. And anybody, any of his minions that want to go with him. Yeah, I know. I'm like, we got 2 of them now. It's only one original though. We know who the real one is. We know who the real Poncho is. You know what's funny though? Robert Banks said, let's go Turkey. Turkey can't do nothing though. He just came out and said something that the fans wanted to say. That's why what Turkey said was it was really a pump fake, man. It's not really good what he said. It's not good for the fans who like it and the ones who don't, because what is he gonna do if don't nobody go out there and if somebody goes out there and runs? What is he gonna do? That's my thing about it. What is he gonna do? If Canelo go out there and say, "Nah, I'm finna move around. I'ma run." What Turkey gonna do? Go out there and put his hands on Canelo? Yeah, those one of those things I believe in when I see it. I believe it when I see it. You're not finna make nobody stop moving around the ring. or nothing like that. Then we had most of the big fighters, most of the main events have a lot of moving and runners in it. Those haven't been classic main events we've been having on Riyadh season. They've been good. We've been appreciating real boxing, but it hasn't been a lot of toe to toe, just bloody wars. No, it hasn't been nothing like that. The best fight we've seen was John Patel versus Maris Breeders. The fight before Tyson Fury versus Usyk won. That's the best fight they had on Riyadh season. Those dudes tried to take each other's heads off. They were bleeding like hogs, like it was a UFC fight. That was a real toe to toe fight where they were letting their hands go. The guys who getting paid the most money, they ain't showing up. It is what it is. They're not showing up though. I can definitely say that. At least, and I can say this. Probably all the big fighters, I would say probably Joshua probably the most active in the ring out of all those guys, as far as moving around and everything else. But he's not ultra aggressive. And Canelo's not gonna chase after you, so that's only good for certain things. And Pitbull, he's the guy who's chased down Tank Davis for a whole 12 rounds. At a high rate too. And they moved around a lot in that fight. I don't know if people watched that fight before, but compared to other fights, Tank was moving in that fight. He was moving just as much as Haney was in Ramirez's fight. And he got booed after that fight. I told people that 2 years ago. I was like, damn, y'all don't remember Tank got booed after Eastside Cruz fight? That's why when he got booed after the Lamont Roach fight, I said, yep, they go them same fans again. Every time Tank go 12 rounds, he getting booed. But I'm the casual. Oh, yeah. Shakur been getting to it, man. Shakur be stopping people. He be stopping people. Even the guy Artem he tried to stop. He was running a lot. That guy was running from Shakur Stevenson. Y'all remember that guy Artem that Shakur fought in New Jersey? Not one person said that guy was running. He was running. Even Frank Martin had to chase that guy down when he was fighting him. He ran in the Frank Martin fight, and he ran in the Shakur Stevenson fight. Nobody sat up here and said that guy's a runner, and he's a bronze medalist. They didn't say that guy's a runner. Frank Martin had to chase him down at the end and knock him down, and Shakur Stevenson was kind of chasing him down in that fight in the end. Yeah, Tank talking about retirement. I told people earlier this year, when Tank Davis talks, bro, listen, the man is really talking. Everybody else that's speaking for Tank, it sound good, but when he talks about retirement and stuff, it's real. It's real. Tank is not trying to be in no war for a certain amount of money. And I can't blame him. You know what I'm saying? If Ryan Garcia making $20 million, $40 million, and I just stopped him, yeah, my price going up. I can't blame him for that. It's not something I want him to do, but yeah, I'm not finna see a guy I just made quit make $40 million though. And I'm finna be fighting for 10, 15. That ain't finna work. I think the industry gotta put some pressure on that though. I think after the Ryan Garcia fight, man, they should have put pressure on Tank to level up a little bit. Didn't have to be a big name, but I said De Los Santos. It was almost a must-see TV for me. Even though I knew he could have fought Lamont Roach, to be honest with y'all, that fight could have still happened right now if he would have fought De Los Santos already. But I wanted to see him fight De Los Santos, though. And as we seen Brian Norman Jr. say recently, the hardest punchers he's been around is Tank Davis and De Los Santos. As soon as Keyshawn heard that, he like, nope, I'm about to pull out this fight. That man said he the hardest puncher since Tank. Y'all heard that? I know he seen that video. Yep. And guess what Robert Garcia said recently about that? He said, Eastside Cruz said, man, you had Rayo running the whole time. Basically saying you giving credit to guys who running, trying to take their win like you did something. and you're gonna teach that new guy how to run. Because the guy Fierro that Pitbull finna fight, he fought on the Benavidez Morel card. He gonna fight him again on the Barrios Pacquiao card. And Isaac Cruz said, "You gonna teach that guy how to run like you did with Rayo." And Robert Garcia, after he just said that Devin Haney is a runner, this is how these dudes is hypocrites. After he said that Devin Haney is a runner, now Devin Haney moved the same way that Rayo did against Pitbull. Robert Garcia said that's beautiful boxing. Beautiful boxing. He called it beautiful boxing. But what everybody else doing is running though. I'm telling y'all, these dudes, they use that running excuse to basically say I was late to work. So, it's like a late to work excuse. Dog ate my homework excuse. Every time they lose in the fight now, every time one of these guys look bad, if Zepeda go out there and look bad, they're gonna say, well, Shakur was running. But what did Edwin Del Santo just say recently? Shakur Stevenson is a better fighter than Keyshawn Davis. The guy who said Shakur Stevenson was running and everything else just came out and said that Shakur Stevenson is a better fighter than Keyshawn Davis. Matter of fact, I'll give y'all one better because I'm going to put this video out because he fighting this week. I'm going to put this out after I get off of here. But I'm going to give y'all another one who somebody said recently. This is why I'm a bigger fan of this guy than I am Keyshawn Davis. And this guy's probably known Shakur Stevenson longer than Keyshawn. Richardson Hitchens just said recently, I'll fight Shakur Stevenson. He said this recently, like a couple weeks ago. He said, I'll fight Shakur Stevenson. They said, you're Shakur's friends. He like, yeah, but I'll make lifetime money fighting my friend. Yes, I will fight him. So while Shakur is sitting around here, not Shakur, but while Keyshawn is sitting around here thinking like, oh, I could just take my time off and miss weight and I ain't got to worry about De Los Santos. He was scared anyways. Bro, you got a lot of people who waiting to fight you, man. As much as Sabril Matias looked against Liam Paro, that's a hard fight for you. He ain't Lemos and he ain't Baranchik. And he ain't no Navarrete. I'm going to be honest with y'all. And the video's still on my channel. When Keyshawn called out Navarrete, I want to say it was last year or early last year. I was like, why is he? Nah, it was the winter of 2023. I was like, why is he calling out Navarrete? He at 130. I think this is like right at the Navarrete fought Castacia. I said, he trying to fight Navarrete. But I guess he already had his eyes set on the belt. And he knew Navarrete was going to move up. I guess he thought he was going to beat Baranchik. But that was just a red flag to me. I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. Him calling out Navarrete, that was like a red flag, bro. I'm like, that don't sound like somebody wanted to smoke for real. So the De Los Santos situation was supposed to solve all that. Like everybody was like, okay, he fighting somebody for real now. Everybody said that this weekend. That's what we was waiting on. Went out there and pump fake. They call it running because they're flat-footed and don't know how to cut out the ring. Yeah, it's a lot of Mexican fighters that know how to cut out the ring though. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out the great Mexican fighters that don't know how to cut out the ring. All the Mexican fighters I know, they know how to cut out the ring. Even Pitbull know how to cut out the ring. He just didn't let that left hook go. I think that was the biggest problem with Pitbull. He let his hands go a lot more in that last fight he had than he did against Rayo. Man, if you go back and look at that fight Pitbull had with Rayo, all he had to do was throw that left hook. He threw the left hook one time on Rayo. Rayo got hit with it. Boom. Pitbull never threw it again. I was like, he gonna lose this fight. That's like the best punch he got. He even caught Tank with that one time. And you don't throw it against Rayo? Nah, you gonna lose this. I think the worst, Pitbull just gotta work with a little more trainers. Some more trainers, man. Just working with his dad and a couple other guys ain't gonna work. But he's still getting better. He's still young. I think he might be younger than Keyshawn or around the same age. But that's another fight at 140. Is Keyshawn gonna do better than Tank Davis? with Eastside Cruz? I don't know. Like for real, bro. I don't know. 140 is gonna be it's gonna be dangerous at that weight class. Now Ryo destroyed his last fight. He went 12 rounds with a guy who's 100% KO rate. Well, almost 100% KO rate to that fight recently. In all his wins, he had 100% KO rate. He went 12 rounds with him, so he didn't have a bad loss, but yeah, that weight class is gonna be dangerous. Yeah, Benavidez is a beast at cutting out the ring. Yeah, Chavez. Yeah, Canelo, man, I think him not fighting a lot, his legs just going away, to be honest with you. Canelo, one of them guys, he need to be in the ring like Chavez was. Canelo was so worried about the dates, the Mexican dates. He could have fought on those dates and still had 2 more fights. But I think Canelo, he didn't have enough tune-ups in his career. As far as small fights in between, if he gonna fight 2 times a year, he can fight 4 times a year. But him trying to get back in shape and get his legs back under him every May and September, he just not that type of fighter. I think that's what hurt him the worst. Not being able to keep them legs under him like he's supposed to. Gaining all that weight, you going up to 75 and you fighting at 68. There's a lot of stuff going on. He didn't do what Roy Jones did now, but you can see his legs go a little sooner than Roy's did. Roy's legs started to go too at a certain point, but it was because he was gaining so much weight. Yeah, that's a fact, Poncho. When Roy Jones started to gain that weight, when I was a kid, I was like, yeah, he gonna be the same when he lose that weight. Cause I ain't never seen nobody gain weight like that and lose it. I thought that was normal. When Roy lost that weight and fought Tarver or whatever, I was like, bruh, this dude don't look the same, man. Jacob Edit said, how many times a year has Crawford fought? Yeah, but we're talking about 2 different fighters though. Jacobs, we're talking about like Loma fights 1 time a year. Usyk fights like 1 time a year until recently. Most only fight like twice a year anyway. You know, yeah, you said Crawford fights once in 10 years, but he still looks better as far as conditioning than Canelo did. Did you not see Canelo's last fight? Canelo looked like he was 1,000 years old, man. That was a championship fight. Canelo was in his last fight. Matter of fact, I'll tell you this: we never seen a Mexican fighter not be able to cut out the ring like Canelo did recently. To not be able to cut out the ring and you're Mexican, I don't know too many of those guys. That's all I'm saying. If Canelo was fighting once every 10 years and he was looking good, I mean, that's cool. It's never been a problem to me how many times guys fight a year. I'm just saying, if you're going to look bad and you probably need a little more fights. You say you saw Crawford's last fight against a guy who only has 11 pro fights. How many fights did Lomachenko Jacobs? Let me ask you a question. How many fights did Lomachenko have when he lost his first fight? How many pro fights did Lomachenko have when he lost his first pro fight? Because this man just retired, and we have people jumping in my comments saying I'm hating on Lomachenko. So Jacob, when did Lomachenko lose his first fight? Was it his 10th pro fight? When was it? I don't think people understand it, but In America, we have, you know, a lot of basic guys over the years, man. Let's see if I can find. See if I can find this real quick. So we have Lomachenko. This man has let me see. Lost his second pro fight. Oh, what's going on, Mota? What's going on with you? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Lomachenko lost his second pro fight, man. In America, let me tell you, Jacob, in America, you can lose your second pro fight and still be an all-time great. Okay? There's nothing wrong with certain standards. Being a champion with 11 pro fights is not something we never seen before. Lomachenko has done it. Lomachenko lost his second pro fight. Is he a bum? So according to what fans are saying, if you lose early in your career, you're a bum. It's not true. Morrell just lost. Nobody thinks he's a bum. You can lose early in your career and still be great. You said my point is a seasoned pro who fought an unseasoned pro. Bro, do you know that Madrimov has hundreds of amateur fights as well? Nobody thought that Lomachenko was an unseasoned pro. You're missing what I'm saying. When Lomachenko lost his second pro fight, nobody thought he was an unseasoned pro. So Madrimov is not an unseasoned pro. He's literally what Lomachenko was in the amateurs. I mean, even Triple G knows this. I know everybody loves Triple G. Triple G is his mentor. So the guy who's Triple G's protege, you're calling a bum right now. I don't know if you know that or not, but the guy who's Triple G's protege, who just went 12 rounds with Virgil Ortiz and Crawford, is considered a bum. I'm confused. This man has hundreds of amateur fights. He's beat some of the top fighters at 168 right now. Madrimov, the guy who fought Terrence Crawford, that's his name, Madrimov. He's beat guys at 168 who's top 10 on the ranking list right now. Top 10s in the rankings list right now. Number one contenders. You got to understand this. And then I know that most fans know this because when Lomachenko hung it up last week, the first thing everybody said was, well, he got a good amateur background. So the fans know boxing. They know what's up. This is why Lomachenko never gets credit from me, because other guys do the same thing Loma does, and they call them bums. Nobody can lose their second pro fight and be great, except Lomachenko. This man has gotten treated better than any fighter in boxing history. Not Muhammad Ali, not Jesus Christ, not nobody has gotten treated better than Lomachenko. This man has gotten 300 amateur fights, lost his second pro fight, and he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. And he lost to Devin Haney, and he lost to Teofimo Lopez. And people say, well, he beat Haney. Why did he walk? So he let somebody who everybody's calling a runner walk him down? So Lomachenko got walked down by a runner? He went toe-to-toe with somebody who they say is a runner? And he's considered a great fighter? I don't know if people know it or not, but the more y'all talk bad about Haney, it's going to make Lomachenko look worse. The dude will never get in the Hall of Fame. Just being real with y'all. And if Canelo lose to Crawford, that's going to be my last stone. That's going to be my last infinity stone right there. He lose to Crawford, it's over with. That means in less than 2 years, I predicted all this stuff that happened. Boom. Just like that. These dudes ain't like that, to be honest with y'all. We promote these fighters because we love what they do for the sport of boxing, but these guys ain't invincible. Even the Avengers who have superpowers needed other super heroes. Yeah, Crawford for the decision. Absolutely. But Canelo's still Canelo now. People heard me say this. They might think I'm a hater, but trust me, he's still Canelo. Yeah, Loma is a beast, bro. We give Loma, bro. I can't even find Pancho. We don't even have a Mexican version of Lomachenko. Look how hard Pitbull Cruz got to work right now. Every couple of months, Pitbull putting on a classic fight. Even Mario Barrios, people said they didn't like him fighting Abel Ramos. That was I don't know who people think Abel Ramos was, but he almost KO'd Barrios. That was a very good fight. So a lot of guys get slept on because of their names or stuff like that. But the name thing it's gonna be some new names getting made right now. But yeah, I like Loma though. I think Loma's a beast. I watch all his fights, but I gotta be real though. I'm like, man, he getting a lot of credit for that Gary Russell win. He got a lot of credit for that. You said Bam? Bam ain't getting treated like Loma is. Nah. Bam would have already been on pay-per-view. As a main event. You know what I'm talking about? A big fight. I think Bam should be on the card. Like, to be honest with you, I would put Bam on the card of Crawford and Canelo like they did Tank for Floyd Mayweather. That's what I would do. I put Bam on the card just like they did Tank. I had already knew who Tank was when they did that. I was like, oh, that was a great idea. They need to do Bam the same way. You do Bam like that, then next year you'll be able to put him on the Cinco de Mayo cards. Because they need to either have him or Virgil Ortiz or Benavidez doing that, or they can alternate. You have enough great fighters where they can have Bam on there one time, Benavidez. Yeah, Bam a beast, bro. Absolutely, you're right. Nah, Mexican fans ride for Bam though. Nah, they ride for him. But yeah, you're right though. As far as that pound for pound, when it was time to put him on that pound for pound, everybody made a decision. Yeah, it's time for him to go on pound for pound. But what he doing right now, I think they kind of slowing him down. He got a big fight coming up. To be honest with you, Bam next fight might be fight of the year. The African dude he fighting is a problem. Bam next fight might be fight of the year. Against the African guy Kafu, might be fight of the year, dog. I'm telling y'all. Bam resume finna be crazy. I'm telling you. I said he gonna replace Inoue. I know it's cool that Inoue is fighting Juntao and everything, but Bam, he's gonna probably still do that. Yeah, it's a good time in boxing right now. Then you got young guys like Bam and Juntao, Nakatani. They getting all the smaller weight classes. More exciting. Guys is knocking people out. 130 is jumping right now. I ain't never seen 130 like this. You got O'Shaquie Foster about to fight Stephen Fulton. Then you still got Figueroa walking around. I want to see Inoue fight Figueroa. That'll be a good fight at 126. Yeah, casuals don't see it, bro. It's crazy right now. Boxing is so exciting right now. That's why I'm looking at Keys. Summer, it's gonna be a lot of fights on. You see how hard it was for Tank to find a date last year with that Lamont Roach fight, and he ain't Tank Davis. Like, bro, it's gonna be hard for y'all guys to find some fights. They got Shakur Stevenson fighting on co-main event, but guys like him should get the respect they deserve because Shakur Stevenson fighting on co-main event is huge. Just for the sport of boxing, Devin Haney fighting on co-main event was huge for the sport of boxing. But people gonna go out here and call them runners though. Nobody on their level would be out here jumping on co-main events. But people will say they're runners. I feel like that's a bad thing to do for the sport. Even if you don't like that style, I like Mexican style. Nobody like Mexican style more than me. But those guys still fighting on co-main events, though. They're making the event happen, and they're making weight. I got low standards. I just care about people making weight for real, coming in shape. Yeah, 135. Finally get in motion. Bro, finally. They say De Los Santos gonna stay at 135, but if you get a chance at 140, yeah, I need that Nakatani anyway. If they're gonna do it. He gonna fight Akmadali up next, so the original plan was for Inoue to fight at 126 this year. That's why I'm kind of upset. I'm like, man, he could have been at 126 right now because I don't know if Espinoza gonna be there. Espinoza, he been at 126 for a long time. Dude is 6'1". Everybody else at 126 is short. But Nakatani said he will fight. Nakatani said he gonna knock out Inoue and then go and fight Espinoza at 126. So right now, dude is definitely my favorite fighter as far as those lower weight classes. Excitement, I like Bam more, but I don't know. When a guy say he gotta go knock out Inoue to win, and then he'll go fight Espinoza at 26. Yeah, Nakatani a problem, man. Yeah, they are. They starting to promote the weight classes more too. I like that Japan was having guys from Africa fight over there. Because there was a lot of guys from Africa, like Kafu, that was going to Japan and beating the brakes off of people. I know No Shinga went over there and lost, but I think Kafu won 2 weeks before he lost. And Bam was gonna let Kafu fight Chocolatito. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with that. Ernie, what's up, Ernie? Shout out to Ernie Mason. What's going on, man? Ernie. Oh, you were using Golden Gloves? Oh man, you was a beast. What weight you was at, Ernie? What weight you used to fight at? Man, he used to fight in the Golden Gloves. Was a problem. Yeah, Ernie knows it. Ernie knows that if he was boxing around this time right now, Ernie'd be like, I'll be a millionaire right now. And these guys got YouTube and stuff and social media platforms. That's why it's crazy what Keyshawn did, because it's like, bro, they're gonna move on to the next boxer. Everybody get their one chance. The fans gonna give you that one chance. They gave Floyd Schofield his one chance. They giving Abdullah Mason his one chance. They giving all these fighters they one chance to prove themselves. But if you drop the ball with these fans, they not gonna look back. I'm telling you. Somebody else catch our attention, it's over. It happens. That's why building up fights right now is dangerous. If I was a promoter, I would just go straight into a big fight. Because if you don't, it's gonna be more situations like Lamont Roach and Tank, and you'll never have a big fight. Even with Charlo and Plant recently, I felt like that was bad last year because, when Plant fought McCumbee, I was like, man, they got this dude fighting McCumbee on a long layoff. Hasn't fought since, I think, the Benavidez fight or something like that. Long layoff. Yeah, he messed up his brother money too. And hey, I'm glad you said that, J man. And this is the crazy thing about that, J man. I'm glad you said that. Keyshawn Brothers is mad at the fans for telling them, hey man, Keyshawn, don't mess up your brother's money. The fans are trying to tell Keyshawn, don't mess up your brother's money, and the brothers are mad at the fans. You can't make this up, bro. You just can't, bro. We are literally yelling, hey man, don't mess up your brother's money. They on ESPN trying to fight. Nobody else has a brother combination fighting on ESPN right now. Oh man, these dudes out here, hey man, we just fight for us now. Look like you've been doing that, big dog. You've been fighting for you. We out here trying to help y'all out. Y'all like, man, let us lose this money. We already lost money with this De Los Santos fight. Let us lose more money. Why y'all worried about us? The way you support is you let us crash out. So dudes think supporting is actually letting them crash out. If you don't watch me crash out, you're not a real fan. Okay, NBA young boy. Yeah, exactly. These dudes think they think, man. Hey, J man, let me. These dudes think, it was hard for Floyd dad to put him on. It wasn't like Floyd dad was in a position like these other guys where he could just be like, yeah, you gonna fight on ESPN, your main event. Even when Floyd got on, he still had to work his way up, fighting on undercards. That man was fighting all through the Roy Jones or Tyson era. Then wasn't nobody thinking about no Floyd. Mike Tyson got out of jail, wasn't nobody thinking about Floyd. As soon as Floyd turned pro, Mike was getting out of jail, and everybody like, yeah, we can finally Tyson had lined up. Keyshawn think if Mike Tyson was fighting back around this time right now, or Floyd, that everybody would have been like, yeah, let's go to ESPN and check out Keyshawn. Man, please, they gonna watch Floyd or they gonna watch Mike Tyson. Dudes think they on that level. That's the crazy part. But yeah, you ain't getting no more chances though. In boxing, you get one chance, bro. Even in UFC, they gave up on Conor McGregor. They like, bro, you ain't making weight or nothing. He a big name, but he ain't making weight. If you can't fight or make weight, ain't no use for you in the sport. That's what we know you for. We don't know you for selling liquor or being online or trolling or calling guys out. We know you for fighting. If you ain't fighting, we don't know you. Look at Ryan Garcia. When Ryan ain't fighting or posting about Devin Haney, ain't nobody worried about what he talking about. And I knew that last year, Haney. Sad way to live, boy. I'd rather start from ground zero. I'd rather can't face the box and start from ground zero than having to post about Haney every day so I can get people to like me or hit the like button. That's how some of these guys' YouTube channels gonna be looking like in a minute. They're gonna be looking like Haney fan channels. It's gonna be a Haney fan page. And in every video, they're gonna be like, man, he messing up the sport, he running and everything else. There's 100 boxers out here. They're gonna be like, Haney running. I can't go a day through boxing without thinking about him running. He said, let you Chavez Jr. Yeah, Chavez got that fight lined up, don't he? Chavez got that fight lined up. Chavez, hey, he training like this Canelo too. Chavez in shape. He better show up. I know Senior nervous as I don't know what. He like, man, this boy finna mess my name up. Boy, do not go out here and mess my name up. Do not do that. At least he went 12 rounds with Canelo. I think Canelo carried him, but I think that Chavez possibly got carried because Canelo was stepping on everything around that time. And he didn't get dropped or stopped like that. Nah. I don't know about that. But yeah, these guys got a long way, man. Yeah, he doing too much, man. He better go out here and beat Jake Paul. But I ain't gonna lie though, Chavez Senior just want to see him fight though. He like, man, I just want to see him fight. Cause he had another son who just fought recently. Chavez Senior just like that boxing, bro. I'm talking about every time one of his sons be fighting, he be locked in. I'm like, oh, okay, he be taking these fights serious. It is still Chavez. It's gonna be a good fight between him and Jake Paul coming up though. It's closer than I thought too. I saw it recently. I was like, wow, that fight coming up soon. June is coming. June is coming very fast. Cause we got Brian Norman Jr. next weekend. We got Richard Hitchens this weekend with Andy Cruz. Got Nonito Donaire fighting this weekend. But Brian Norman Jr. be fighting next Thursday at midnight. So that fight won't be on till like 5 or 6 a.m. Probably like 6 a.m. Sometimes it'd be like 5 a.m. And it's gonna be an early fight. Yeah, I'll watch that. Yeah, they got a lot of fights in June coming up. They got Liam Paul at the end of the month with Wilder and Christian and Billy. Christian and Billy gonna be fighting on the card of Terrence Crawford and Canelo undercard. Yeah, Jake Paul fight at the end of this month. It's June 28th. They got Holly Holmes, Avius Griffin, Raul Carrera, Floyd Schofield versus Tevin Farmer. Oh, now I see why Tevin Farmer said he want to fight on the Crawford card. He fights in a lot of these fighters might be on that card. You got Gilberto Ramirez, Zerto, he fighting on the card. Yeah, they still got some good fights out here. They got Gene Pascal fighting at the end of the year. Man, got he said, still remember the 25th episode eating cereal coming to camp late. Yeah, they need to bring 24/7 back, man. It's not the same no more. HBO was doing their thing around that time. HBO was doing their thing for a minute. Yeah. Senior, a legend, bro. Yeah, he lost against Whitaker. Yeah, he lost against Whitaker. He said the best fighter he fought against was Mildred Taylor though. Oh yeah, man. I had forgot to say his last fight, J man. He fought, I want to say it was either early this year or around Thanksgiving and Christmas. But it was like less than 6 months ago. He ended up stopping some guy recently. It was a good fight too. Yeah, but Chavez, yeah, he definitely a legend in Mexico. If Junior can get this man, Jake Paul so popular, bro. Chavez Jr. will be the man. He get this win. That's why he want to get it so bad. He'll be popular after this. Tommy Fury got popular after that. Yeah, all access. Yeah, Pascal done came back though. They say he gonna fight in Canada June. Yeah, June 28th. They got Michael Closet. I don't know why I know this dude name from somewhere. No, I done seen this dude fight before. Yeah, that first Taylor war was a beast, bro. That first fight with Taylor, man. Chavez was beating the crap out of Taylor. Taylor putting hands on him though. On. I just seen that fight recently. Cause and then after that I seen I seen Mildred Taylor get arrested recently. I'm like, what? Still look kind of young in the face though. But yeah, he was a beast, man. I was surprised Chavez said that was his toughest fight. But as far as most people's eyes, they felt like that Whitaker fight was definitely difficult for him. If it wasn't the Taylor fight, it was probably that one. Yeah, dude was a problem though. Then had a crazy resume. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy how Chavez was still boxing like 2005, and like I was still watching boxing. Dude was still fighting. That's why when I ain't no yeah Oscar he Oscar retired 3 years after Chavez did. That's why it's like Oscar a beast, bro. But it's levels, man. Yeah, Canelo be tripping. I don't know why he sit up here. I don't know why Canelo ain't had that skull fight in Mexico or something like that. Skull would have never made it up out of there. That's probably one of the reasons why. But he should have had that fight in Mexico though. I guess he wanted to fight in Saudi one time, but yeah, I always thought Canelo should have had more fights in Mexico. Just with the way he's popular in the sport. The man is well known. He said no more runners on his car. He said I talked to Turkey, no more runners on his card. Turkey gonna have some trouble, man. I'm telling y'all. I pulled out the stats. I had to pull out the stats for this one. If you go back to the beginning, Turkey got a lot of runners out here. He gonna be having some trouble. He said, "Yeah, fam, he ain't have good management. Should have retired after the Whitaker fight." Yeah, a lot of those guys. That's why Poncho. It's crazy because I'm pretty sure Chavez got a lot of injuries and everything else. I'm pretty sure he broken up like everybody else is, but yeah, that's crazy. Poncho, wow. But I'm pretty sure he broken up like everybody else. But man, he fought for a long time, man. That's why I'm starting to look at it. I don't think these guys sitting around not fighting as much. I think that's probably hurting the quality of boxing because they're not really getting better. The only reason LeBron is as good as he is right now because the NBA has 82 games. If the NBA had 2 games in it a year, LeBron would probably be trash right now. We've always seen LeBron come to the NBA and add a 3-pointer or a step back. These guys have a left hook from early in their career. A lot of these guys still standing straight up, and not really changing levels. No head movement, just small things. It's like that's why them not fighting a lot. It'll never be a guy like Chavez in this generation because they're not fighting enough. People will say, "Man, Chavez ain't fight. He ain't fight 100 killers." But yeah, he didn't. Have you seen the fighters coming out of Mexico recently? We seen what just happened to Caleb Plant, right? Yeah, he lost to a Mexican with a couple of losses. And then Stephen Fulton, he got dropped by a Mexican last year. So fighting a Mexican fighter, people make it seem like, yeah, these dudes just coming out of a bar and they don't know how to fight. Nah, homie. These dudes is Eastside Cruz 2.0. The guy Pitbull just fought was a Mexican from Mexico. And he put hands on Pitbull like nobody ever seen before. And was walking through everything. Yeah, he shouldn't have took that De La Hoya fight. I was like, man, when you look at when he took it, it's like, bro, you talking about passing the torch. Yeah, I think Chavez and Roy Jones did stuff like that. Even Oscar did things like that. Because bro, Pacquiao was getting people up out of there when Oscar fought Pacquiao. He had just beat Marquez too. That was before he got into the Cotto fights though. Once he beat Oscar, that's when everything started to get bad. Yeah, he from tier one. He get down, bro. He get down. That was a good fight they had with Munguia out there in Tijuana. That's why I said they should have had more fights in Mexico. That dude Bruno, that was one of the best reactions I ever seen to when he beat Munguia in Mexico. We need more fights in Mexico like that, big fights. They didn't have no trouble with the count, the scoring, the judging. Everybody talking about the referee counted too fast. That was a classic fight. They need to get that referee who did that fight. The referee, the Mexican referee who did the Munguia fight, we need him in Saudi Arabia immediately. That's my favorite referee right now. They said he counted too fast. Man, that man doing his job. Probably had money on that fight. He ain't finna make no drastic decisions. Yeah, Canelo hate fighting in Mexico. He be trying to get up out of there. He already know what time it is. Them fans gonna be like, hey, you better make it happen. If that skull fight would have happened in Mexico, that would have been a bad look. That's a career ender right there. Canelo would have been in Mexico fighting like that. They would have been like, hey, man, you better chase this dude down. They would have made sure Canelo chased down William Skull. I promise you. They would have made sure. But yeah, I was kind of even upset they didn't have that Munguia fight. If Munguia would have fought Bruno in Mexico, I think that fight they had last would have been more exciting. Sometimes you gotta put these guys in front of their home crowd, man, or in front of their fans they grew up in front of. How hard everybody was on Keisha on the weekend. Man, I ain't even showing up to the fight. Dudes ain't weighing in. I ain't doing this. Now if he was in Vegas, he would have said, "Oh, it's just the fans." But when it's your hometown, they let you know, like, yeah, man, it's disgusting, Poncho. It really is. I be having to call that out. I'm like, bro, that ain't it. Then he went and opened up a restaurant recently that was in Cali. I'm like, bro, you could open that up in Mexico. Time. And they could have eaten another restaurant down there, tourist attractions. Mexico a popular place to go to right now on vacation, especially in the summer. This man went to California, opened up a restaurant. I'm like, bro. He keep dropping the ball with the fans, but guys like Chavez understand. Even Oscar understands. Oscar like, man, I'm not like Chavez. I ain't finna try to go over here and try to fool the fans. Oscar knows what time it is. The fans know what's going on. They cannot be easily fooled by just the accolades and everything. Cause even with Chavez, bro, we don't never bring up belts he had, accolades, how many times, how many champions he beat. We bring up certain fights. Hey, y'all seen when Chavez beat this guy when he fought this person? Look how many fighters he fought. Then the man retired 3 years before Oscar. That just lets you know what kind of dog he was. This man probably got great grandchildren retired 3 years before Oscar De La Hoya. That's why he's the greatest Mexican fighter ever. And came to America and made it happen. Fought some tough fighters in America. Yeah, Chavez was making it happen. But the difference between Chavez and other guys, I think Munguia kind of knew this. That's why he went back to Mexico recently. But the difference between Chavez and the rest of these guys, Chavez was going back to Mexico. He fought Oscar and a couple other guys, went back to Mexico. Fought in America, then went back to Mexico. Fought in America, went back to Mexico. So he always knew what to do with his career as far as going back for the fans. But Canelo be dropping the ball on that, man. That's why he needs this Crawford fight bad. He doing a good job as far as accepting the Crawford fight because the fans asking for it in Mexico. They want to see him fight Benavidez, but at this point, we all know that's a stretch. But if he can seal the deal with a win over Crawford, yeah, Canelo be the man in Mexico. I think even if he loses the fight at the battle right there, to be honest with you, even for me, you know what I'm saying. I always said I wanted to see him get beat by Crawford, but it ain't that big of a deal, man. I just wanted to see the fight, to be honest with you. I think me seeing the fight is a bigger deal than me actually seeing who gonna lose and win. I usually feel like that with certain fights, but not as much with this one because he took the fight. You know, he gets some respect for that. He could have just been like, "Nah, I ain't fighting him." Because we seen guys who are not in a position like Canelo. They turn down Crawford fights. I want to see Crawford outbox Canelo though. I definitely want to see it just because you know a smaller guy never gets credit for actually doing stuff like this. Even when Chavez and Whitaker fought, a lot of people felt like Whitaker should have been more aggressive. Um, the narrative has always been the smaller guy would never be aggressive against the bigger guy, but we seen Pacquiao do it plenty of times. I seen Pacquiao do it many times. Be the smaller guy, so it can definitely happen. But it would be a big thing if Crawford was able to do it better than any other guy he's been in the ring with, especially like Floyd or somebody. Be a huge statement. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody for coming through, hanging in the chat with me. We're gonna be back on tomorrow, probably later on, find some more topics. But I think I'm as the weekend get closer, today Wednesday, I'm trying to find some topics on. We're gonna talk about with Hitchens and going on at 140. And I'm gonna have some other topics come up too. I want to speak on a couple of other things. But one thing I am gonna talk about is I told y'all about the story I had. I wanted to talk about craziest thing I heard in boxing. We're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna put it out later on today. I'm probably talk about it tomorrow. People want to talk about it. But it's the craziest story I heard in boxing since I've been watching. And it kind of lets you know something that we've been thinking about, you know, as far as the conspiracies. Nah, he ain't never been in there like that. Not a guy who just gonna let his hands go at any cost. Because even when Triple G was in there, he was aggressive, but it wasn't like he would just let him go, like let his hands fly at all costs, no matter what. You know, Crawford gonna fight like he got nothing to lose, so that's gonna be the scary part. Like whoever fights like they have nothing to lose, and I think Crawford gonna be in that position. It's gonna be dangerous for Canelo. It really is because Canelo right now he's hearing the good things. Nobody's really criticizing him. They're trying to light a fire on him a little bit as far as saying certain things like, well, Crawford might have a chance, you know, because Canelo he a competitor still now. He gonna try to go out there and make something happen, but it's just Crawford's different. Even Chavez Senior said this. I was supposed to do a live on this. I'm gonna do a live. Senior says he basically Chavez said best fighter he's seen since Canelo is probably Terrence Crawford. He's not saying that exactly, but if you listen to how he's talking, he don't want to talk too good about Crawford because you know he's a Mexican fighter. He got Canelo coming up, but he said recently. Oh, shout out to Aaron, man. Appreciate that for supporting me in the cash out, man. Appreciate that. Shout out to Aaron Griffin. But Chavez has said recently He has a lot of skills. Like the man lets his hands go. He has way more skills than I've seen over the years as far as a lot of people. They compare him and Inoue. He just said comparing Crawford to way more Inoue. It's not even close. And we'll talk about that a lot more too. I just wanted to talk about the running rule and the undercard. But if y'all haven't heard, the undercard consists of Christian and Billy right now, Nakatani, uh, Abdullah Mason. I know the guy Muhammad Akil is on there. Riyadh Zazumi is on there. He fought on the undercard of Ryan Garcia versus Rolly, the Asian guy who fought in Times Square. He's on there. But they got they got the undercard already filled. So no more undercard fighters. Turki Al-Sheikh is not going to accept any more undercard fighters. Most of the fighters he have signed to his Riyadh season, you know, whatever it is, he's having them fight on the undercard. So the prelims, as far as the prelims, that's filled up already. So most of the other guys he's trying to get on the card is either intern title fights or title fights. That's what he's looking for right now. So he's gonna be John Tal's gonna be a title. Because Inoue is fighting in September, so you know they're gonna have that around the same time as John Tal. Then you have Abdullah Mason, that's a championship fight. And Billy, I think that's an intern title fight. Oh no, it's gonna be a title fight because he's gonna get the intern. So it'll still be an intern title fight. So most of those main card fights, if it's not gonna be a title fight, it's probably not gonna be on the main card or added to the card. Unless it's a blockbuster fight. That's why Janovic said recently he would like to fight Adames on that fight card, because if you look at it, if Janovic don't fight Adames, Canelo next year, because they're leaning more toward Chris Eubanks fighting Canelo than they would Janovic. And then that kind of puts Diego Pacheco on the outside a little bit, because on paper, Diego Pacheco was supposed to fight Canelo in May after Edgar Berlanga. Because if you look at things, Diego Pacheco did the same January around the same time that Munguia fought John Ryder, and he was going to basically be in position for the Canelo fight. But then the William Skull thing happened where Canelo lost the belt, got the belt back. Then the Crawford thing came into the picture. And then that's kind of how things happen. But yeah, everything's coming into place right now. They definitely know what's going on behind the scenes. But it's a lot of changes being made, a lot of stuff getting pushed back. I'm telling you, that Tyson Fury thing, it pushed back a lot of fights. Because then Bitterbill had ended up getting hurt. That pushed things back. So we're just now starting to get in Turkey wants to make. We'll see how everything goes next year. That's why the young guys, they got to realize this isn't like how it was a couple of years ago. If you get online and you're highly ranked or have a belt, and you say to Turki Al-Sheikh, I want to make a fight with so-and-so, you better make sure you're trying to make the fight happen or make weight. This ain't like the old days. They're going to try to test you. That's why I say there ain't a lot of people that's ducking right now. It's just guys ain't wanting to accept fights. You're going to get a fight offer. Like, it's not your job to figure out if somebody else is going to accept the fight that Turkey is offered. If Turkey say, I'm going to give you $40 million, can't face it, and then the other guy will figure out what he do. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm dollars. And the other guy, he'll figure it out. If he fight, they'll get a replacement. So I have nothing to do with the other guy who's fighting. Whether he's ducking or not, that has nothing to do with me. I'm going to still get this $40 million. Turkey going to find the best available opponent, like he did recently. And it's going to be same thing over and over. That's why guys like Keyshawn think, oh, man, they're just going to wait on me. Nah, man, not going to do it. He signed Abdullah Mason the same time he signed you. He's not just gonna sign 130 a 135 pounder and that's it. This is my guy I'm rolling with. Nah. He's gonna make sure that. But the running thing I was hearing recently, I think that was overblown. And you know, Turkey is a smart guy. Maybe he said what he said because a lot of the fans that been Turkey, they loved him saying the running rule thing. So now he's got both sides of the fan bases to agree with what he's been doing. So it's a checkmate really on Turkey's side. If you want to be honest, he's a good politician. The way he conducts himself as far as boxing, all guys as promoters got to cater to all fans. You can't just isolate yourself in one fan base. So he was very as serious will perceive it to be. It was something they wanted to hear, so it worked out well for Turkey Out of Sheep, man. He really put everything into perspective as far as what fans want to see and what they don't want to see. But are they going to ask them the right things? Because I think the biggest thing they had recently was weigh-ins. I think weighing in is a huge thing, bro. It's always going to be a big thing because it's part of boxing. Without weighing in, we will never have another fight happen. So I think that's the bigger deal in boxing than it is running. But even the performance, I think the punch output is a lot bigger deal than the running. I think also the clinching. I think as far as the rule on clinching, I think that's a rule that needs to be talked about more than running because some guys can clinch and get away with it in a fight, and some guys use clinching as a technique. Like when Caleb Plant was fighting McCombie, they were clinching, and that referee was doing a good job because he was letting the action go because they were still fighting on the inside. Caleb Plant was throwing uppercuts, but your natural referee would think, "Oh, that's clinching. Let me stop it." But because that was the style that Caleb. So if you're a referee that doesn't like clinching, you're taking away a boxing style. Now I can't fight Mexican style or fighting the inside because you don't like clinching. You think clinching is a bad thing in boxing. What you don't realize is I'm throwing 100 uppercuts on this dude. I'm trying to knock his chin off. But you're worrying about me clinching because I got his arm locked. Does it make sense? Do we want to see a street fight or, because this is the weird thing about boxing right here. If a guy is clinching, that means he's not running. But if a guy is running, that means he's not clinching. So I think people having a time is insane. Because I've never seen a guy clinch a guy and he was able to survive for 12 rounds. Now, if you can clinch somebody, I've seen Caleb Plant do it with Benavidez, but that was excessive as far as the clinching. But it still went 12 rounds. I don't think any points got taken away. Maybe one did, but I don't think it did as far as. But that's the most clinching I've seen in a fight. And I'm serious too, because I actually liked that fight. Tried to watch it like 3 times. I'm like, anybody who tried to watch that fight again, there's a lot of clinching in that fight. Makes it kind of unwatchable. And that was a classic fight too. But it's like a one-time thing almost because there's so much clinching. But it's not no clinching in the Ryan Garcia and Haney fight like it was in that fight. And Haney was hurt when he was clinching. I'm talking about hurt to the point where he was getting up, surviving. Now, somebody surviving and trying to go 12 rounds is not cheating, and clinching to survive is not cheating. I don't know where that's come from. People don't know what clinching is. I think we need to go over clinching in boxing because they think if you holding in boxing, it's a strategy to most people to buy time, for position. I don't know, man. To be honest with you, it's kind of crazy, man. I feel like Haney's getting bullied worse than, and I'm not saying bullied like he can't handle it. I'm saying as far as from society and boxing, he's getting bullied worse than a Floyd Mayweather did. Because, Haney just had a fight last year where he went directly at Ryan Garcia, and it's like, okay, you ran one fight. I don't think Floyd got criticized like that before. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a Floyd Mayweather fan. When he fought Zav, I was like, man, Floyd, what was that? That's the only fight I've seen from Floyd where I was like, man, what was Floyd doing? You tripping. Everybody else was like, yeah, that fight was good. You see how Zab was, they jumped in the ring. Everybody was thinking about when Zab, people jumped in the ring. They was looking at all that stuff. I'm looking at Floyd. I'm like, okay, cover. Oh, you got to make it work. This is a street. And him and Zab is friends. And look how they was fighting. And then people like, yeah, Ryan and Rolly, that was nowhere near what Zab and Crawford was. And Zab and Crawford, I'm pretty sure that, I mean, not Zab and Crawford, Zab and Mayweather, they're better friends than what Ryan and Rolly is. And them dudes were trying to take each other out, jumping in the ring, had each other's families fighting each other. Yeah, that was a real fight. That was real boxing there. All they gotta do is grab real fights that have real rivalries and real beef and real hate behind it. When Cambosa and Teofimo fought each other, it was real hate and real beef. Zab and Mayweather, real beef. Wilder and Fury, especially the second two fights, the second and third fight, that was real beef. So when you have real animosity and with a guy, that's why the Keyshawn and De Los Santos fight was gonna be so good. It's like, okay, these guys really going after each other. Weigh-ins for Tank Roach, I was like, yeah, these guys gonna be able to go to each other. So a lot of these times they got to do with style matchups with these performances. But the clinching and everything, I think that's something that needs to be talking about. Because you can actually win a fight by clinching. And you can win a fight by moving around the ring, as we've seen Cambosa do against Teofimo. He wasn't walking him down. And for Teofimo to even let him do that was crazy. But yeah, they're gonna try to play fighting styles now. And a lot of boxers don't like it. They feel like people just speaking up just to say things. But I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of these guys not really investing in what they say. As far as the running rule, I can't respect it because a lot of guys said the weight last year didn't matter. Now they're yelling at Keyshawn. You just can't trust these guys. I'm being real with y'all. I'm just being real. Because if the running rule thing was like a real point where it was valid, I would actually agree with it. When guys say 3 pounds don't matter, then they turn around and say, well, with Keyshawn, it matters. I understand why De Los Santos pulled out the fight. I don't want to talk to guys about the running rule who say stuff like that because they kind of all over the place. They okay with guys being overweight, but not now. And I understand why guys pull out the fight. It's just weird. But they say 3 pounds don't make a difference though. How are you okay with somebody pulling out of a fight and you say 3 pounds don't make a difference? Then you'll turn around and say, well, Ryan was weight training against Tank. So weight does matter. You know what I'm saying? It's a real, like the weight thing, that conversation, that can go on for like years and years, but they ain't ready for that conversation though. So the running thing, that's like third or fourth on the list, to be honest with you. What about scoring? They were just scoring in the fight, judges, guys taking knees. Can we figure out if taking a knee is a knockdown? Why that rule ain't being talked about? We got a whole rematch going on because the guy took a knee in the fight. And everybody is saying, oh, the running rule. Oh, we can't talk about the taking a knee rule. Yeah, man, they just trying to add. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. They just trying to add new rules to boxing, and they can't even enforce the rules we already got. They just trying to make new laws, and they can't stand the laws we got already. They just trying to irritate people and bring up a conversation that ain't nothing. I'm gonna be honest with you. The kids gonna hear about this running rule in probably 15, 20 years, and they're gonna be like, that generation of boxing was a joke. They had to tell guys not to run during that generation. Oh my God. You guys paid $90 for that? Wow. That's insane. Who was boxing back then? Teofimo? Ryan. The guy who lost to Tank and Rolly? Oh yeah. So all the Tank's opponents were beating each other? Yeah. Oh, okay. Doesn't make sense, but all right. So if Tank beat Rolly and oh, okay, I don't know. So Tank beat Rolly and Ryan? Oh, so what happened with the Haney fight? Oh well, he got knocked down a couple times. See, he ain't never fight Tank, so he ain't better than Tank. Because Ryan and Rolly proved that. You got people walking around talking like this right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got a lot of people in the back of their mind like, man, I hope Roach finish the job, bro. Not because they got animosity towards Tank or nobody, but it's like the underdog can never win, bro. It's like people tired of seeing the favorites win all the time. We want to see an underdog prove himself. The underdogs never get a fair shake these days. And the people who care, people saying, man, Barrios ain't doing nothing. Bro, y'all gotta realize, all through the pandemic, Barrios was fighting Keith Thurman and Ugas and Tank Davis. Now, mind you, most people didn't know who Barrios was at the time. I knew who Barrios was. He was actually on my favorites list before he even fought Tank. I thought Barrios was a problem. Still is. But he been one of the most active guys. But they like, man, he should be fighting this person. Man, this man already fought Keith Thurman, Tank, and Ugas. And two of those fights was what, 147? I think Keith Thurman and Ugas was 47, right? So they can't say he ain't fight nobody. And if you look at Keyshawn's resume, it's like, bro, you ain't even did what Barrios did yet. Barrios jumped in the ring with Tank. I like Barrios. He ain't make a whole bunch of no Tank. He ain't make a whole bunch of demands. He just got in there, fought him, got out. I think later on he said he didn't like the weight he was at. Obviously he moved up, so he's not lying. But he showed everybody like, man, I can make these fights happen. And that's why everybody else is talking, promoting themselves and trying to be Don King, you got guys like Isak Cruz and Barrios that's about to be on another big card. And they fighting on the same card. They about to be on another big card. And they fight another tough fight. And then you got Keyshawn brothers out here like, man, we gonna do this on our own. Bro, we got people like Barrios doing it on his own right now. Isak Cruz been doing it on his own. Last time I checked, none of y'all got a resume like Isak Cruz. Especially going 12 rounds with guys your brother already struggled with. That ain't gonna impress the fans. And almost getting stopped too. So what level is y'all on? That's what everybody gonna ask. They're gonna be like, man, y'all was supporting them guys for what? So yeah, people gotta realize the same kind of way as other fighters did 10 years ago. They're not finna build you up in this generation. Floyd Schofield, they not finna build him up. It's either Tank or Tevin Farmer. Those are not two easy fights. William Zepeda just struggled against Tevin Farmer. He's a 130 that just went to 135. It's a lot of 130s. I'm gonna tell you something else too. It's a lot of 130s in this generation that's going to 135 and embarrassing a lot of guys. So even 130 is a threat to 135. So this generation, you can't wait around and try to figure everything out. Everybody trying to get a big payday, but the wrong choice payday. It'll be a last one. I think at this time right now, each fighter, and y'all notice too, a lot of guys have gotten quiet, but they got to realize it's good to promote yourself and let everybody know who you are. But I would take a page out of Isak Cruz's book. I would do my talking at the press conference, and I would stay active and fight big names. Because I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of these fighters, if you don't fight somebody I didn't know before you fought them or I wasn't familiar with, and they don't impress me, that means you're not fighting a lot of people. See, the guy Isak Cruz just fought the Mexican guy. Everybody was impressed by him. Didn't know who he was. They was like, man, he's a beast. So, and that's Eastside Cruz coming off a loss to Riyadh. After he lost to Riyadh, he fought Rolly, beat the brakes off of him. So he made Ryan Garcia look even worse by doing that. Then he goes and fights Riyadh. Then turns around and fight Fierro. Then he gonna fight him again on Pacquiao card. Then he might get another fight in this year. Then he already got Fight of the Year candidate. And it's only June right now. I don't know what these fighters in America think, bro, but these dudes in Mexico ain't coming over here just to be playing, man. And they getting opportunities now too. Because everybody getting a chance right now. As long as you show up and fight, everybody getting a chance. It's like a tournament going on. Turkey is literally doing tournaments where he is taking guys off the street who are pro boxers, who don't have a chance to fight on Pro Box or Showtime or Amazon, Top Rank or whatever. He's taking those guys, putting them on a tournament where they can go in the go in the tournament and figure out who wins and who's the best and who goes to the next round. He ain't doing this because, oh, we got enough fighters right now. He trying to figure out who the best is. That's all it is. He trying to figure out who the best. I'm telling you, it's no coincidence right now. And I'm not taking shots at anybody. This is real facts. There's no coincidence why Tyson Fury and Lomachenko is everybody's thinking about hanging it up right now. The most money they ever seen, the most money that's ever been involved in boxing right now, and thrown around. The most available, and now guys are like that are like, man, I'm gonna hang up. And they're younger than Terrence Crawford. Both are younger than Terrence Crawford. Younger than Usyk, younger than Bitterbill. I'm finna hang it up, man. And I don't know if Loma had made $20 million or $30 million before. And I heard people saying, yeah, he got an injury and this and that. You ain't gonna try? A lot of people got injuries. Shakur been hurt before. I heard he got hand injuries. But you ain't gonna go try though? That's the bad thing. At least try. That's the only thing I'm saying. At least go out there and try, man. Like these guys have no excuse. Just like my Golden Glove brother said earlier. Ernie. Like Ernie said earlier. Ernie said, I'm 51 years old. I was in the Golden Gloves from the age of 13 to 17. I love boxing. Been following boxing for many years. There's no better time in boxing than right now. Ernie telling y'all right now, if I was 17 years old and I was in the Golden Gloves like I was 34 years ago, which was, what was that, Ernie? 1991. Ernie was in the Golden Gloves in 1991. Ernie was in the Golden Gloves. If they would have had opportunities like Turkey Al-Sheikh is throwing around right now, Ernie would have been trying to become a millionaire or become a partner with one of these guys, jumping online or starting to figure it out. But yeah, I appreciate everybody for coming through, man. I just want to chop it up with y'all. We will be back on tomorrow, probably later on. They have a fight coming on tomorrow. We'll check it out. But I'm gonna definitely have some news come on tomorrow. But this story I have coming out later on, you definitely gonna want to hear it. It's pretty crazy. But I appreciate everybody for coming through, man. Hitting the like for me, supporting the channel. Punch OJ, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through.